it looked like someone like put like a leech on my head. It was like this gross purple lump. It just popped out within an hour, and then like the rest of like that month at camp, I just had like this lump that like went down slowly. But like it was mostly like it hurt and it was weird. But the number one thing, it was just embarrassing. It was like, oh wow, you have this fucking, what's wrong with your face? You know, kids are so nice. Like, what's wrong with your face? You look fucking gross. I'm like, yeah, I hit my head. They're like, what happened? I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't even like, no one pushed me. I did it myself. I did the dog shake and I whacked my head in the side of a concrete pool like a fucking moron.
See, what happened is my mom sent me to this camp. So it's her fault that I got
She was there. She came to the nurse's office. They were like, Maggie, come here. And she was like, oh, what happened? I'm like, yeah, I whacked my head. She was like, oh my God, this and that.
Yeah. If we were funnier back then, you had that and how to cover for that one and be cool.
Yeah,
you pick the first guy, make fun of you, then you go to the nurse, you go, he hit me.
Everyone saw it. I was live.
It's this big giant purple thing. He hit me.
Welcome, Basement Faithful, to the episode 106 of the Dylan Joe Basement Podcast. Welcome, our smushies. Welcome, our ookies and gookies. We're so happy to hear from you again, and I hope you're happy to hear from us. Today, we have an awesome liner for you. Not only me, we also have Dylan. What's up, Dylan?
What's going on?
And Dom.
Wow.
We're in the basement tonight. We're here to talk about a couple of things near and dear to our hearts, to our arms, to our brains, to our spines. We're talking about getting fucked up, and not in the fun way, but in the interesting way to story. Today we're talking about getting injured. It's kind of like MTV's Scarred, except we don't have the videos. You just now have to paint the picture with our words. That's how it's going to go down today. Get beat up. And maybe at the end of the podcast, we'll all jump off a roof and see if we can get one more story out of it. But that remains to be seen. Stay tuned to find out. How you guys feeling tonight? Is anyone injured right now?
Yeah.
Well, let's hear all about it.
Yeah, no. Always. I mean, there's perpetual injuries. We're not going to talk about those. Maybe we can. I don't know. But no. At the moment, I don't know what to categorize this as. An injury. I also, on the ride here, I was thinking maybe it's actually an STD.
Ooh.
Because why not? You know, so let's just talk about it.
Why not?
I'm not your doctor, so it's really not my place to diagnose you. So
I did.
And neither are you, but it didn't stop you before.
No,
so
and I didn't ask
them
them how to categorize this, but I got fucking raped without my consent, physically.
Yeah. Which is implied usually by rape.
Yeah. Which is
I think if you have consent, it takes a lot
that's
of the
why
teeth
I
out
didn't
of the
have
record.
consent.
And also,
to have...
Dylan, thank you for breaking the record of how fast we said the word rape. Usually it's at least 5 minutes in. Last podcast, Dom said fuck within 10 seconds, so we're doing pretty good.
We're doing all right. So I was just really,
we know what we're doing.
I was driving here, just deep thinking about this.
For all the listeners who are tuning out already, listen, he's not going to tell you a story about him getting sexually assaulted. Just listen up. It's the kind of pot it is.
How do you know? What do you fucking know about my
You definitely would have told me. I hope. I thought we were close.
No, some survivor's guilt requires it to be blocked out. And this one I didn't, but in my mind...
My mistake. I just didn't want people to think you're going to tell a detailed story about someone sexually assaulting you in the next minute and you turn it off immediately. Yeah. I know I would.
I have been sexually assaulted before.
On the way here.
Yeah. No.
My mistake. I should just let you tell the story about you getting raped. Now, please tell us your
Thank you.
rape story.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
that was my fault.
A safe space for me to share the story.
I'm here to listen, not to talk.
No. So what happened to me is a thing entered my body without my consent.
Right.
And I don't particularly agree with this nor like this. I had a tick on my shoulder this time.
Thank God.
Much better than under the army helmet.
Yes.
Inside my butt cheeks, on my armpit. Trying to
They
go
like to go for the
had.
sensitive areas. I think they're a little more.
Yeah, but I had the Army helmet one in high school, and it just really fucking hurt. And then I both had my pants. I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!"
Yeah, that's a matter
Anyways.
of record on the podcast for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think it's been said before. This isn't the first time.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this thing's been in my shoulder for 2 days. I got it out yesterday, and
It's longer than most rapes, I have to say.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, for real. So I thought it was a scab at first, and I've been working on cars and woods and it's just the usual
Non-union
thing.
worker.
Non-union worker. Don't get the joke, but moving on.
Scabs if they cross the picket line rather, and then they call them scabs if they work during the goddamn strike. Sorry.
Oh, like a
Heard
that
fucking.
before?
Oh,
You
no,
go
but
on a
sounds
strike
like
and they go, I'm gonna work. And they go, you're a scab. Why you're going against the union? You're working during the strike. You're a fucking scab. You know.
I'd just call him a fucking rat.
That's
Same
it.
thing. Same
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Hey, fucking rat motherfucker. But anyways,
yeah.
no, I had tick. It sucks. My whole shoulder is like a big bruise now,
Damn.
and and it's not great, and it's disgusting. His whole entire head was by my shoulder blade, inside of there.
So it was like back here. It wasn't like on. I guess.
Yeah, no, it was like where my shoulder blade is,
Oh,
and I
man.
just thought it was just I'm covered in
ticks, man.
I'm covered in blood all the time. It's just normal, and I was like,
Every
it's just
day.
like every day.
I got blood all over, man.
Yeah, all the time. And I thought it was that. So that's my first, just as we speak, minus the Band-Aid on my finger
He's
and
already injured.
a piece of metal in my hand and a lot
be
of cat
punched.
scratches. And
You got that cat scratch fever.
Yeah, I don't.
Luckily, I didn't have Rocky Mountain spotted fever. We're getting bit by
We
a
don't. No, that is very rare here. So I'm waiting for some test results
For
on
now.
4 different types of sexually tick
Yeah, how-
diseases. Yes.
Wasn't sex though.
Sexual tick diseases, because they are putting their entire head inside of my body.
Yeah.
I call that if that's not sex, then you tell me what.
I mean,
is.
that's essentially
It's a
just the tip.
parasitic bite. Yeah, it's.
I don't know.
I mean, they were sucking on you. It's hard to deny it. It seems sexual. Penetration, non-consent,
sucking,
It all.
Internal suckage.
I can't argue. You're
body
right.
fluids. Yeah. So, yeah, that's.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. We hope you're gonna be feeling better, and we hope that tick is behind bars now, as he should be until trial.
I think he's in a bag in the mail.
That's kind of like
In
being
the mail?
Yeah,
Well, yeah. Well, they have to test him, right?
they sent him out for like research.
See what's going on there.
Interesting. I did not know
Luckily,
that.
you caught him red-mouthed or in the act, because sometimes they get away and then you just have the results. You know.
Yeah. Well, the worst part is once I found out that's what it was, I was supposed to go to work and I was like, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. And you immediately you're like, let me just be calm about this. It's probably nothing.
Yep. No, not even that. I'm like, I know this is a tick. I can tell now because I finally looked at it real up close, which is really
Yeah,
hard
but
to
you
do.
probably freaked the fuck out. You're like, I'm dead. I'm gonna die today.
No,
at the
no, no,
hospital.
no.
There's
not
no
that.
way you didn't go to the hospital right away.
I went right away, but I didn't have.
Yeah.
This is not my first rodeo. So
No,
to
you,
speak.
you know how this goes. Yeah.
my first, not my first tick rodeo.
Not
There's
your
been a
first
lot,
rape. All right.
Well,
Joe,
my,
stop.
a lot of rodeos, and but the worst part is I couldn't get it out because I can't reach it. So I had to like
You have like the
45
bodybuilder thing
minutes
where you can't
of
get
just
the thing on your back.
Yep,
like the pussy
exactly.
in the bag.
I had
Oh,
45 minutes of driving with this thing in my shoulder, feeling like there's a tack in me because it's pretty deep, and it was already
sucks.
forming a bruise.
And once you're
I was
aware
like,
of it, you're like,
that's all it was. I was
can
like,
think
cool,
about.
can't not think about this anymore.
Yeah, that's fucking awful.
Yeah, and then in the waiting room, I'm like, hey, just a heads up.
Got to take in my
My
back
attacker is still in me.
I'm not in.
Yeah.
I'm like,
The
I'm
assault is
just
still in progress.
uncomfortable with this. So can we, see? I'm sure there's someone in there having a fucking heart attack or something, but
Yeah, but
maybe put me
I'm
right
me,
after. Maybe
though, and they're not.
Maybe put me right after them. Makes
Isn't it
sense?
so hard though, Dom? Don't you guys can say this? Whenever you're in the emergency room, it doesn't matter what it is. It's like I
Dom's
know
never
other
been.
people have it
Never
too.
been.
Oh, you ever been in the emergency room?
No.
That's
Doesn't
very
believe in
surprising.
doctors.
No, I don't mean as an adult. I mean when your mom was like, "We have to go to the hospital, but they're closed, so we have to go to the emergency room because you have strep throat or whatever." You never
Yeah,
done that?
no.
Wow, pretty cool. But anyways, what it is you can imagine this. You're sitting in there and waiting, and you're like, I know everyone has their own thing, but mine is mine. I need
yeah.
it now. Like, no matter how sick I have been, if I'm there, it's already not a regular thing. And everyone I'm looking around, I'm casing them, being like, you don't even look that fucked up.
Oh, no one in the waiting room. No one looks fucked up ever. Never.
No.
Not a chance.
So you don't know
I've
their
never
story,
seen someone,
but I'm so
and I've been
selfish.
in some crowded.
I'm like, I need it more than you.
Been in some crowded fucking ERs. Try sitting there after some girl kicks you in the nuts, and
You
your
went
mom
to the
brings
ER
you.
for that?
Yep,
That's tough.
twice, and
One for each nut.
I've shared these stories before. I got to let someone else have it.
Oh yeah, save it for you. You got all these injury stories.
I told you, I'm not even
Nut kick.
coming. I'm not even
I think
prepared
that if you go to the
at
hospital
all.
for a nut kick, that counts as an injury, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
I'm not even prepared at all for this podcast.
I know you don't
today
need to be
because I told you
That's why it's the only
I'm
podcast
here all
in
night.
the past
I'm here
5
all-
that I had the idea and Dylan just said yes outright because he didn't have to do anything. He's like, I got plenty of stories.
Yeah, I'm here all night, guys. Maybe
Love
even a second episode.
Yeah, we might have to have Dylan go twice to all of our one time.
I'm just gonna have it my own episode. I'm just gonna talk like I listened to a podcast the first time because I just love this girl. She's a comedian. She's so funny. You'll
Yeah.
fucking hate it though, Joe. It's so
Really?
someone who would annoy the fuck out of you. Yeah, Andrea Jin. Andrea Jin.
Okay.
She's so funny. And I was
she's
like,
hot,
listen to her
obviously.
podcast. Yes. I for the first
I
like
don't know.
8 minutes. For the first like 8 minutes, I didn't realize that it was just her talking to herself for 2 hours. And
Really? She's doing the Bill Burr style where it's
crazy.
just to
she
yourself.
she doesn't even take a breath. I'm like,
Wow.
what the fuck? Like,
She's in the right profession then.
yeah, I mean, she was talking about the royal family trying to kill Meghan Markle and like the usual things that the girls say.
Yeah, with all
and it
the
was
stupid
pretty
shit.
funny. But I'm like, this is one where I could do 2 hours of me just fucking talking. So on to you guys. Who's next?
I bet it'll be equally as interesting.
Yeah. I'll definitely give it a look.
This will be funnier than hers. Hers was I lasted like 15 minutes.
The tick is 2 days. You're gonna last 15 minutes?
No, you know,
You gotta
15
want
minutes is you know, you want to make sure it's a decent amount of time, but not too much time. If you know
Of
what
course. I was just joking. No one's
I mean. Quick,
lasting
but not
2 days.
too quick to listen to that. You know.
Yeah. No one's doing a two-hour podcast in their room. Don, would you like to go first with your first injury?
Yeah, sure.
I don't even count that as Dylan's first injury. That was just him updating.
No, that was just an opener.
what he's
Yeah.
been doing since last time we
Yeah,
talked.
because I was like, oh, it'd be funny if Dylan starts because I know he got bit by the ticks. That's like, but that's not like an injury story. It's not like one you tell all the time. You just told that for the first time right now.
Oh wait, no, I know, but also
I'm looking
I
for
don't-
stories that you're like, oh, these are old standbys. Like, dude,
Yeah, I got a few of those, but I just want to wrap
Yeah.
up that story because I forgot. I might have already told you guys, but
I hope the
can
tick
you
wrapped it up.
can you guess where I got the tick?
You did tell me, so I will
You're
refrain
welcome
from
to
guessing.
share. Yeah, it's fine. You can say it.
Oh, you have Dom guess just because I already know.
I
and also, you don't
already
know, right? You just guessed that.
What?
Because usually they're in the woods and not.
No, it's
in...
confirmed
Oh, it's confirmed. How'd you confirm?
How was it confirmed?
because there's no rules there.
That
Yeah, so
still
it's not
doesn't
confirmed.
confirm it.
Yeah.
Dudes are just walking around barefoot
Yeah.
all the time.
Again, for
At the-
like
at the-
ringworm or like you know.
Dude, I made eye
jock
contact
itch.
with a guy a couple
That
days
makes
ago
sense, but like, there's not usually parasites on
who was
the
like
walls.
80 years old, just completely naked, just standing outside the shower, not even
Why do
in
you
it,
think he's
Yeah.
there?
because there's
Usually
no rules.
it's
No rules.
microscopic invaders in places like
No
that.
rules,
But I
guys.
don't know.
I got this tick from the Salem YMCA's men's room.
There's active tick biting
Allegedly.
going on there.
There's no
Allegedly.
rules there at all.
I can see where that would be the most likely place, but I can't imagine you haven't been outside at all.
Not me.
You
No.
must have been outside. You're outside constantly.
Nope. Just been in the Salem YMCA men's room. That's the only place I've been the past couple
Wow,
days.
that is
that where
scary.
you
to
are
think
right
that
now?
not only is
where
there
I am-
parasites there that are microscopic, there's actually macroscopic parasites.
That's where
Little
I am right now.
ticks crawling around and biting people.
So you're saying a tick crawled
it
around
jumped off
someone
of the
long
bathroom
enough to
stall
get
onto your
off of
back. You
someone.
didn't brush up against it.
Yeah. Well,
Some guy gave you a high five in the back. It was just
you
full
got
of
weeds
ticks.
growing in the sauna and stuff. It's
Damn.
it's a pretty crazy place in there, guys.
Wild.
That is wild,
I had a
dude.
tick on me today, actually. Didn't bite me. I saw it climbing on my pants, and I
Oh
flicked
my
it away.
god! I
Were
fucking
you
hate
also
those
at the
things.
Salem YMCA?
No, I was outdoors where they live and thrive.
Hey, where everyone gets them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyways, yeah, I'll go into my first injury,
All
which
right.
I know Joe has seen it. Dylan, you probably might have seen it at one point in time too at my parents' house.
The
when I used to
naked
have-
gun.
But I used to have a tree house that my dad and my uncle built, and they built a slide out of basically a plastic sewer pipe. Don't forget that part of the story.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Won't forget. Yeah.
And it was
For the audience,
Rough.
you ever seen those big blue trash cans for like parking lots, or like where they hide bodies and they put the top on? It looked like a bunch of those.
Yeah, you
bolted
dissolve
together.
bodies in them, or it's in a parking lot.
Yeah, that's what it
So-
looked like.
It was a tube at basically maybe a 45-degree angle, just straight down.
There's no
That
gradient.
That piece was one solid piece, probably about 10, 15 feet long, like 2 inches thick plastic, and then one of the blue tubes cut in half to kind of flatten out at the end. It was a real coming down just...
Yeah, you don't realize how
Go.
curvy a slide is until you see what that is, and you're like, oh, it's just
Yeah.
straight, and you're
was
diagonally smacking into the
straight
rough.
changing
It was
the angle like you're on
fast
a
and
light
it
cycle in
hurt.
Tron.
Now, this is my treehouse. I requested it to be built. We got it done, like almost exactly everything I wanted. And this is not my only treehouse injury story I'm going to tell tonight.
Almost exactly
Wow.
what I wanted, including
The
the
magic
blue
tree.
slide. I wanted that exact trash
Well,
can to be made
let
into a
me tell you
slide. That's
something about
exactly
that
what I
slide.
put the order in for.
I went
Well,
down
even
that
when
slide.
this. Sorry, Dom.
We could buy a slide. No, I want the trash can to be turned into a
Well,
slide.
no, I don't think my dad bought a single thing for this treehouse. It was just like stuff he had.
Your dad
bought.
didn't buy
I did a
anything?
Flying
4x4.
around.
Like the house itself was like a playhouse that he lifted up into a tree and then put down onto a platform he built. He didn't build the house itself.
Yeah.
We already had it. Mm-hmm. I went down. It was my treehouse. I went down the
Been
slide
established.
one time.
Here comes the story. I just want to say
Classic-
before you go into the injury that even if you go down it quote unquote successfully, you still get hurt. Like if you do like, oh,
Yeah,
I
you're
was fine.
smashing your tailbone.
Yeah,
into
every
where it
single
flattens
rivet
out.
on the way. So
Every
like,
single
there's no
time.
good way to do it. Even if if you don't get injured, it's still like you
Very
get
few
fucked
people
up.
would go down it more than once, but there were some crazy motherfuckers that
Yeah.
would do it.
Yeah, it's advice. Sorry,
Classic mothering moment. It was fall. My mom goes, "It's cold. It's fall."
It was fall. Yeah, it was.
You have to wear a jacket when you go outside because it's October or September, wherever it was. And I was like, "But I'm not cold, but you have to wear a jacket." So I put my jacket on. It was too warm, so I had it unzipped. Playing on the treehouse, and I go, "You know what? I'm gonna go down the slide." I go down the slide, and wouldn't you know, there's a little lip at the bottom there. At the top, though, at the bottom of the top, the jacket got caught. It lifted me up. I face planted into the top of the slide.
Webbers.
Then I had to pull myself up, unhook my jacket, go down, hit my tailbone. Fat, bloody lip. Never went down it again. All because my mom made me wear a jacket because it was cold outside. when
Blame it all
wasn't
on your
even cold
mom.
outside.
Yeah. Sounds
Not
like
your
it's her
dad who
fault.
built it like a death trap. She was worrying about your jacket. And you're like, that's your fault.
So then I came inside. My lip was all swollen and bloody. She was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "I went down the slide. And you made me wear the coat, and the coat got stuck."
Blame,
You
blame
did
her
it.
immediately. You did.
You basically punched me in the face, Mom. You're such a bitch.
I told today when she
that's
asked
so
what the
funny.
podcast was about, I said injuries, and I told her that. So
Fucking
I was
slide.
like, no,
Remember
I'm talking about
that?
the slide
Yeah.
when you made me wear the jacket. She's like, "What are you talking about?" I told her the
Yeah.
story again. She was like, "Oh, yeah, I've heard that story before."
Yeah,
Still
I wanna
takes
hear it.
no blame.
I think she has very little blame in this story. I have to say. It's an unfortunate schmelting
You
accident.
did this. That's
The blame goes your dad for
I'm
building
the
it,
only person
then you
ever
for
hit their
not being
face on
careful,
the
and then
slide.
her for
Everyone
making
else,
the jacket.
Every other person hurt their like butt or tailbone.
Yeah,
I'm
you
the
hit
only
the
person
top
that
of the
hit their
slide.
face on it. I hit the
Which means even
top
if it was like a
of the
1 foot
inside.
slide, that still would have happened. It doesn't matter how steep the slide
oh
is.
god, that's great.
That's awesome. Smacked your face on the top of the slide. Very rare slide injury.
That's great.
People used to always wonder, "Tom, you go down the slide?" I'm like, "No." Like, but it's your treehouse. I'm like,
Yeah. But it was
It's not the
worst.
slide I requested.
It was the
It's
worst
not
slide I've
the
ever
slide you
been down.
requested.
It was the only fun part was that you did it and it was scary and you're done with it. It was like it was like getting hit. In
It was
the
like the
face.
world's fastest roller coaster.
Yeah. Or, but it's like at least that's just kind of fun. It wasn't even fun. It was just like you're falling.
Yeah, no.
Like I bet you can't fall down from 10 feet. You're like I can, and you're done. You're like, oh, that hurt, but I did it. Like that's
Yeah.
all it was. It's like the joy was that you completed the task.
Yeah.
It's
But, yeah.
It was probably just slightly longer than if you just jumped off.
Yeah, and it felt like
In
jumping
free
off because
fall.
the way that the bottoms of your feet hit the slide, it was like you landed on the ground before you did the final landing. So like every time you were gonna hit your legs, like you were jumping off of a tree, which you were doing.
Yes.
It wasn't like
it was a controlled fall.
Here I go. Mostly you weren't even hitting the slide. You're jumping it through a tube like you were.
Like you're fucking
Actually be
Mario.
a slide there. Yeah, just an angled. Anyways, fun slide. We'll see if we can't get a picture of it. We can't. I don't have it on hand. Maybe Dom can later.
I read a
We
note.
described it pretty well. If that's all right, I'll go with my first injury story. And of course, a lot of these we can blame other people, but I can't for most of mine. It is mostly my
Yeah, you're
fault.
giving me shit for blaming my mom. Dylan blamed his first one on being raped.
Well, he didn't blame it on his mother. That's so rude. She was looking out for you. She just wanted you not to catch cold.
She
Which I
caused
guess
it.
I wonder if mothers still think that a cold is like a virus you can catch.
There's no
outside.
way. They got to be over that shit.
I hope so.
Can confirm.
Your kids will let you know if
It's
they're
not a
cold.
big deal to new mothers, as I've seen.
Yeah, I think so. Back
Well,
in the
think
day,
about the
you used to get a
Russian,
cold and you die.
What the Russian kid thing?
Or they
They-
leave them outside at night.
Yeah, they leave newborns out at night in Russia in the winter to
that's-
help them build their immune system, and I think we should bring it back.
That seems a little extreme.
They
There's
fucking
some
made it.
middle ground there.
They made it, little Dominic, 6 years old, wherever you were. You'll be fine if you don't wear your coat.
Yeah, I was probably 6 or 7, if I were to guess.
Yeah, he figured it out. But he did wear the jacket, though. So
Did you wear the
he's not a good
face mask
study.
too?
But like the balaclava?
No, what I posted on our Instagram with your black robber
Oh,
mask.
no. It was too warm to wear a jacket. Why was
Oh,
he-
right.
I wore a ski mask.
It was not cold, apparently.
All right.
Which also, one little side note, 'cause I think I told this story before. The time I drilled a hole into the couch, that's the jacket I used to cover the hole.
Oh, good. it's part of the canon. I like that.
Okay. Yep. Makes
The
sense.
jacket's been through a lot with you.
Yeah.
And every time you utilize it, you
And when I
get in
drilled the
trouble.
hole in the couch, it was my mom's fault.
Oh yeah, I remember that was her fault too. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. You're in your coming in your late 20s and you're still blaming your mother for all your problems. That's interesting. No, that's fine.
I don't call her mommy anymore, so I'm getting better.
That's fine. Mine takes place at a summer camp that my mom made me go to.
It's her
God,
fault.
can't pump a
Immediately,
syndicate.
it's her fault.
It's not her fault. So this was at Papa Syndicate. day
Oh
camp.
God, no one ended up normal there who went there.
Yep, a lot of weirdos there.
A lot of fucking freaks.
Where was that? That sounds so familiar.
It was you know where Fru Julian's is in
Fru
Hudson.
Julian.
Oh, yeah.
It's right across
Yeah,
the street
it's-
from that.
Sketchy camp.
Yeah.
No, it was just
And
like just
it was
no
a
one
day
was
camp, so you go during the
fucking
day, and
all
then
right.
it was like school basically. When the end of the day
Yeah.
you go home.
A lot of rules.
My mom worked there for 2 summers, so when you work there, your kids get to go there for free.
Your family?
which is why I got to go and choose.
Oh yeah, and it was also kind of exclusively rich kids. I know we definitely.
it was really expensive. It was like $3,000 to go to. It was crazy
What?
money.
Oh my God! Yeah, I
mean,
remember it wasn't even a
it might have
fucking.
not- it might have not been
wasn't even
$3,000,
remotely close to
but
being on the table
it
for
wasn't
us.
like $400. It was like over 1,000. My mom will tell me the real number, but
Yeah,
it was.
yeah,
I
it
would
was
have never
definitely-
gone there if she didn't work there. It wasn't even an option.
They got fucking horses. That should tell you. You know,
Yeah, the horses.
horses don't show up or not
the
anything
zip
if there's
lines
no
and
fucking
stuff.
money involved.
They had a lot of
well, zip
stuff.
lines. You know, we can figure that out on the budget, but not a horse.
Yeah, the horse though for sure.
You don't bring
Well, the zip
budget.
line-
You don't bring budget horses around children. I,
No, well,
I
dude,
know this.
that's for sure. But the zip
That's a
line budget,
fucking
dude,
fact.
it's not about building the zip line. It's about insuring 300 kids. Like that's the budget.
Oh, yeah.
Is that as you
Yeah.
get insured that many kids, if they fucked it up, they
Exactly.
have to pay out.
Yeah, so even if you
anyway.
have a budget horse around kids, you still have to have the insurance to have
Insure
that,
those
and that's
horses.
not they're gonna vet that horse fair where that fucking little asshole came from.
And you're being
Not
taught
good.
by like 16-year-olds. At the time, I was like, they're like young teachers. They're like they can't even drive.
They're also children
yeah.
Yeah,
who don't want to be there.
they're also children. But yeah, can you
And
imagine?
they
being-
had to pay to go too, even though they were teachers. They didn't have to pay as much, but they had to pay like $250 to like work there. Basically, it's crazy.
Imagine dropping your 10-year-old off at this some shitty fucking horse camp and they get kicked in the fucking head.
Oh man,
I'd be like, this is
rough.
bullshit. This sucks.
I would
It's the
not be
one
happy.
horse. It's like Timothy Treadwell with the Bears. You know, it's like there was one horse we always knew was a little
And that was
fucking
the
off.
one. And then, boom, Timmy got rocked.
Timmy got it
And
right
now
in
he
the
can't spell anymore.
forehead because he thinks he's the fucking horse whisperer and it got kicked.
He was wrong.
Yeah,
He was wrong.
I was wrong.
So anyway, so I was at that camp, and one of my least favorite events. So they had like it was like 6 different things a day. It was as I said, like school. You go to different classes. Like now it's archery. Now it's zip line class or whatever. Those were fun. You know, the horse one. I didn't particularly like it because it was like 95 degrees and you had to wear jeans. And, like it was gross and you're like on horse. You didn't really get that funny. Like with a walk around on a horse and learn how to like ride a horse. It wasn't really fun.
Well, just shits and pisses the entire time.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It was like
there's just one in front of you. You have to pretend that it's not fucking just pouring urine out of its ass.
And you're barely going anywhere. It's like when you pay the guy at the carnival to walk around on a donkey. That was the horse.
There's nothing
class.
fun about it. Yeah, it's like my camel experience. It's fucking bad.
Fuck that.
It's not good.
And this was still better than this because here's my least favorite thing, which was called swimming, but was just swimming lessons the class. Like it was so annoying. You just go in there like, oh, it's a pool time, not pool time. Line
Sit
up
down at a fucking table.
do laps. No, fucking not billiards. A swimming pool. It's a rich kid camp.
They bring you over to fucking
Hit the 8-ball.
yeah, all right. Finnegan's rents out their fucking place from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Sundays
no wonder it's
for Julian's
$1,000.
kids.
They're not closing that place down for
For
nothing.
Julian's kids to come in and play pool with the Bush Light sign with the girl in the bikini
Cool
on it.
hand Luke.
Yeah. All right.
No.
Anyways.
So it was swimming lessons was what it was. And I
Okay.
hated swimming lessons. Every summer I had to take them. And I was finally like, now I'm too old. Don't have to take them anymore. Now I'm going to camp. It was still swimming lessons. It wasn't like, hey, you guys, we're going to do like, games or like swim around or like even races. It was just like, go and do the butterfly stroke 10 times back and forth. Like, what's a butterfly stroke? It's like, here's how you do it. You go back, you're like, they did that wrong. Do it again. It was like practice. It was like fucking sprinting in like basketball practice. It sucked ass. I hated it. And so one of the days there, I was doing laps in the part of the swim lessons that you're doing there. And at the time, I had long hair. And when I had long hair, every time I come out of the water, without fail, I wouldn't do the lovely chick thing where I'd wipe it back to my head like this. I
Like
would
a wet dog?
because it would go down to here, so it would get in your eyes. So what I would do is I'd shake my head like a wet dog, like Dylan just said. Every time, if I went down one time, come out, shake my head, get out, shake my head. Every time I was like, I'm out of the water, I'd go like that. So I was doing laps.
Were your hands tied up like a Navy
Crawl
SEAL, or why
stroke.
the fuck did you choose that and not the hands?
I just never did. I'm not saying it was a smart move. I'm just telling you what happened. I'm not saying I made the cool
Just
move.
wondering why.
And I'm telling you why it's even stupider as the story goes here.
It's definitely dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, I just used to do it every time. So then I'm swimming, and by the way, I'm like 12. So what do I know about anything? Yeah. Anyway, so I'm
Absolutely nothing.
Natural instincts of water in your hair. Yeah, got it.
the natural instinct is to go like this.
Yes, not be a fucking dog.
No,
Natural instinct is to look as
no.
sexy
Dylan doesn't
as
know what it's like
possible
because
coming
he's
out
been
of the
doing
water.
this since he was 6 years old. Because that's how his hair looks, and I didn't
think
have
that's
hair like
slick
that
back?
until
This
now.
is pushed back.
Yeah.
is
Honestly,
a hat.
Dylan thinks that's how you do your hair because he's been doing this since before he could spell alphabet. So obviously for you,
Still
that seems
can't.
normal. For me, I had long hair for the first year, whatever. I didn't know what to
Yeah,
do with it.
just
I
be a
was
dog.
dummy. I
That
was a
actually
dumbass.
makes more sense.
Dude,
Be a
I would have
different-
done the exact same
Don't
thing.
be a
Trying to have-
human,
trying to have-
be an
it's
animal.
summertime.
I'm not
You
saying it
can't
makes
try
more
to have
sense. I'm
fun.
saying that the idea that it comes naturally to you is you're not a girl, so why the fuck would you know how to do that unless you had pushed back hair for 10 years? I get why you think that. It makes sense
I don't
to
know.
me.
It's like squeegeeing a window more than anything, actually.
It's like squeezing a window. By the way, you're already justified the story. You're right. I should have done the way you did it.
Yeah,
but I
what the
didn't. I'm
fuck is
stupid.
wrong with you? Why are you
I'm an
sharing
idiot.
this dumb fucking story?
Let me get through to the story. We're only on the second injury story so far. I'm not even in the injury part yet.
Shit.
So I'm doing the crawl stroke, whatever you want to call it, the
The crawl
freestyle.
stroke.
Doggy style.
And no, they call it the crawl stroke.
Crawl stroke? Who the fuck
Yeah.
is
Never heard
fucked
of that.
up Papa Syndicate people are calling it that?
They don't call it the freestyle. What do you guys call that? When you do the swimming thing that people
Where you-
usually do.
Where you exhale through your nose while you're doing the overhand stroke and
Yep. Yeah,
think
what
it's
do you
called
call that?
It's called the
Stroking it.
front stroke.
Okay, front stroke, another name for it. Dylan, what do you call it?
the stroke.
Yeah, so you don't know either. Shut up. They're all strokes. It's like Billy,
Overhand, the
fucking
overhand,
Squire up in here.
the overhand stroke.
Yeah, I was okay. Fuck all you guys. Anyways, I was doing the stroke, and I was going, and I wasn't doing the thing where you're supposed to turn your head and like kind of breathe up the side and see where you are. But I hate
Yeah.
getting the water in my eyes, so I'm just gonna go as far as I can without putting my head up. And
They
I
didn't
was
give
trying
you
to-
fucking goggles for this?
No goggles. No.
Jesus Christ, this place.
Well, there's
man.
all
For the
these
money?
kids. They don't
Gives
want
a
the
shit. Be
fucking-
like, hey, your parents need to buy the $9 fucking goggles from Walmart.
Yeah,
Like,
I hated
if you
goggles
can-
too because they would never.
Everyone hates
the water would
goggles.
always get in there and just get in my eyes.
You know
I
what?
hate
You know what
it.
is fucking dumb? Pools. Anyways, go on.
I
I'll tell you
agree.
more about that later.
I definitely agree. So anyway, so
Stupid.
I come up from the water, and I think I'm pretty close to the end of it. I come up from the water, and like there's not that many kids in the pool, so most people are like watching while you're going, because they want you to like watch and observe or whatever. And I get up and I do the fucking dog shake, and I'm right next to the side of the pool. I just go wicket wham, full force, hit
Full
this
dog right into the fucking
right in the temple.
Shit.
It's like boom, and I was like, oh, I started seeing stars, and I was like, that fucking hurt a lot. And I pulled out of the water, and everyone's like, oh, what the fuck? Are you okay?
Here we go.
I just watched this man bash his own head into a wall like a moron. And I get out of the water, and they're like, you're right. And I was like, yeah, just kind of dizzy. They're like, yeah, you got to go to the nurse. You just whacked your head really hard. And I was like, it just hurts. There's nothing really wrong with it. And by the time I got to like the nurse, which is probably another like 20-something-year-old teacher on summer vacation making some money, she was like, all right, yeah, we're just gonna put some ice on it. And I got this big purple lump that grew up from the side of my head, and it looked like someone like put like a leech on my head. It was like this gross purple lump. It just popped out within an hour. And then like the rest of like that month at camp, I just had like this lump that like went down slowly. But like it was mostly like it hurt and it was weird. But the number one thing, it was just embarrassing. It was like, oh wow, you have this fucking, what's wrong with your face? Kids are so nice. Like, what's wrong with your face? You look fucking gross. I'm like, yeah, I hit my head. They're like, what happened? I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't even like, no one pushed me. I did it myself. I did the dog shake and I whacked my head in the side of a concrete pool like a fucking moron.
See, what happened is my mom sent me to this camp. So it's her fault that I got
She was there. She came to the nurse's office. They were like, Maggie, come here. And she was like, oh, what happened? I'm like, yeah, I whacked my head. She was like, oh my God, this and that. Yeah.
If we were funnier back then, you could have had that and had a cover for that one and be cool.
Yeah,
you picked the first kid to make fun of you, then you go to the nurse, you go, he hit me.
Everyone saw it. I just laughed.
It's this big giant purple thing. He hit me.
So
that would have been great.
Obviously,
That
having
would
to
have
walk
been
around
awesome.
with
It'd
that
be so
thing
funny.
would be awful.
I was pretty funny though. I had two girls.
Yeah, you were.
Two girls
Go
from
on.
that camp ended up wanting to date me the summers that I went to the camp there. So I did all right.
You made it pretty.
They
You made
wanted
it pretty
to.
far with them.
You
Yeah.
said no.
Any
Well,
inside the park.
I made out with both of them, but we didn't like
Oh.
date. We were like kids.
Well, I thought you just pulled a Jeff,
I'm saying
like,
I
this
got
girl
them.
really liked me and she wanted
But
me.
yeah,
She's mine.
no.
She's mine. She wanted.
I made out with both of them. All right, I want that on the record.
Inside the park home run stats.
No. I wasn't even close to. Well, one of them it was the long game, so yeah. But the other one it was my first kiss, so that didn't. There's no home run status on that.
Inside
Sounds
the park.
kinda statutory.
Inside the park home run on your first kiss.
That's all he's ever known.
War of the Worlds.
So they call him
Anyway,
the Louisville Slugger.
So that wasn't that bad of an injury. It's just more I wanted to bring it because it was so
sounds pretty
embarrassing.
bad,
It was just
honestly.
like you're a lame. Like what the hell's wrong
So
with you?
Dog
obviously,
shook into a wall.
And then I had to stay at the camp rest of the day, just sitting around being like, oh, now I used to be here.
I just feel like shit.
Yeah,
Yeah. Obviously, I'm sure the worst part was having that lump on your face.
it was
the rest of the
because
summer.
everyone was like, ew.
But I'm sure the initial you coming up after it happened, people just going, "Oh,
Yeah,
must have been pretty bad."
yeah. It's that thing where you're like, I don't feel so good. And they go, oh my God, you look terrible. And you're like, oh, now I feel worse because now I have people justifying like I look bad.
I feel that now they're talking about my looks.
Yeah, no, it's like a toddler when they bump their head and you go, oh, you're okay. And so they go, oh my God, you're. And then immediately you feel worse because you're like, oh, it is bad.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's what it looked like when I came out. They're like, are you okay? Oh my God. I was like, oh, I don't feel that bad, but I guess I am bad because everyone's freaking the fuck out about it. But
That's
there you
funny.
go.
Yeah.
That's my story. That's
great.
Dylan, do you want to do a story before we go to our break?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I got one. I just can't not say this because it's funny.
That's what this podcast is all about, brother. Clip that. I just cannot say this because it's funny.
There was a neighbor boy who moved into the house near mine when I grew up. So I was like 10 or 11 or 12, something like that, maybe 5th grade. And and this kid was just fucking weird as shit right out of the gate.
Not like you.
And no, not at all. And if the reason he was fucking weird is because he didn't have a TV. You guys ever meet a kid like that?
Yep.
No.
That is weird.
They're fucked. They are
I was
so
never
fucked
friends
up.
with them, but it was like because it wasn't their idea either. Their parents are like, "You need
No,
to be
of course
reading
not.
books."
No.
All right, so I never met a kid that didn't have one, but I've met a kid that almost never was allowed to watch one.
That's pretty close though.
That's
Yeah.
bad. that's rough.
The only thing
That's
that's weirder
just
about the one
torture.
kid is that his parents weren't even watching TV, but like the
Yeah,
not
no.
allowed to
Yeah.
is like almost the same.
Yeah, this kid, they didn't have one in the fucking house. I don't know if you guys remember. There's like the red house in the corner of Hemingway, and
I can't.
yeah, fucking kid they never had TV, and he said that they would rent it, rent a TV
What, for
every
Super Bowl?
every Olympics. And I was like, that was fucking.
Oh my god, it's even more lame.
It's even worse. I was like, that sucks.
Your parents
Shit.
are so
Well, we're
mean.
inside playing fucking Turok. You're doing what?
Yeah, we're not even watching. We're not even watching TV. We're playing video games.
We're not even watching TV at this point. Yeah, we're playing Goldeneye.
Yeah.
Way past Goldeneye Turok, actually. I'm on PS2 at this point.
We're playing Time
Yeah,
Splitters.
I'm
and
on
Recency
Grand
Bikes
Theft
over
Auto
here.
and Time Splitters.
Yeah, Grand
and,
Theft Auto.
Yeah, and you don't even know about this fucking world yet, so he was wicked fucked. And then
I'm
you
sure
get a
it's
kid
totally
like
normal
that.
now.
I'm sure kids like that would be in the car and see a TV and be fucking glued to it. Like they're like walk down the street and TV's on the window and they can't fucking leave it.
I mean, I do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
but not usually. People don't do that.
yeah.
That's
Dom,
Cook Lane syndrome.
do you have a TV right now?
He's got a few
In
of
my
them.
house, I
Yeah.
have like 4.
Just checking.
That work. I have
for
multiple
one
that are
man,
broken.
Just checking. Just checking. Because you're saying some weird shit right
Hey,
now.
Dom, I got one behind me. If you want to get one more.
Does it work?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Nice.
I'm
don't
down a
use it
TV
'cause
right
I have a
now.
bigger one.
I had a dream last night that my brother, because we had this conversation about TVs. Remember the TV I had in high school, Joe, that we picked up from my boss's house? That was the like $5 million TV in 1988. It was like that giant fucking. We used to play the Ma on it.
Oh yeah. I think it's massive.
Yeah, like you're a millionaire in the 80s TV. That one.
Yeah.
Fucking
It weighs
love
like
that thing.
1,000 pounds.
Yeah, it weighs
400
like it's
million
a VW bug.
billion pounds in
Is
It
it,
had
like,
a
is it
metal
similar to the one that
cylinder in it
Brendan
that was
had
like
at
the-
Lake Boone?
Oh no, it was newer than that. That one was like it had like
Mine
a
was at least
plastic
black.
hologram screen.
Yeah, it had like you could scratch the screen. And go. Zzz, zzz, zzz.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
old
Oh,
school.
yeah.
Love that
His
thing.
actually like had a. Anyway, go ahead.
I had a dream my brother got one of those again. I was like, what?
Sounds like a
And it's
nightmare.
like what you and
Yes,
Mark
it-
do with cars is like you buy like TVs and
vintage
at the
t-
time,
vintage televisions.
At the time, you had to be
Oh,
a
yeah.
millionaire to buy this. Like, yeah,
Well,
but
you
now
know that's
don't have
exactly what I said when I picked it up. I'm like, you back in 1988, this was fucking
On top of the world.
like $20,000. So it's so nice today in 2006.
Works
you know?
better for cars than for TVs for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
TVs, technology. So I had a dream that like he's having a kid in like 2 weeks, and I was like, you got
After
that
2
TV?
weeks already.
I was like, you got that fucking TV again? Like,
dude, you messed up, man.
That's a hazard
it's like,
for the
it
baby.
was the same speech. Like, hey, it's really fucking nice though. I'm like, I get it. Trust me. You don't have to tell me twice, but it's like, shit.
I just wouldn't
Anyways,
if I were you.
so the kid with the fucking no TV, I don't remember his name. But anyway, so he did what kids with no TVs do. He fucking walked over my house and his mom introduced him and said they wanted their fucking antisocial kid to make friends. And I was like, yeah, sure, dude, hang out with us.
Yeah, we're playing Grand
That's
Theft Auto.
No, so he would come over when we play outside, and so I built a treehouse in like the front right woods, like obviously the woods where the go-kart track was and like that. And the treehouse was 10 feet in the air, and it was mostly just a few 2x4s connecting two different tree branches.
It wasn't after
There was no house, no fucking house. It was just a really shitty platform that you could straddle, not even sit on or stand. And then
worked
to
with
get
what
up
you had.
there, I'm pretty sure I just nailed the tree, so the steps were just
Nails?
nails half
just
in a
step on
tree.
nail.
Yeah. No, so you had to use your
like a-
shoes
like
and
a
climb up
telephone
nails.
pole
Like
guy.
a telephone pole, but with
Just nails.
leftover nails that I had in my mom's garage. Again, I'm like 10, but this makes perfect sense. I'm like, I don't know how to make steps.
I like how you have
so-
access to all
Yeah.
these.
And you're still
items.
light enough that you can stand on a nail and it not
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
If I could put like
alright.
5 nails and do whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, so fucking TV boy comes over. We're all
Mike,
hanging
not
out.
TV.
Whatever. Yeah, not TV boy comes over. And
Also
we're
known
all...
as Charlie Bucket.
Yeah, Charlie Bucket was no TV.
Actually,
boy.
even he had a TV.
Oh my god! If Charlie Bucket can have a TV, this poor kid.
Wait, like Grandpa Joe's grandson, Joe?
yeah,
Charlie?
yeah, that one.
They had
yeah.
a TV.
They had a
the
fucking
screen was
TV?
about This big.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, they watched the updates on the Wonka bars.
They have to know about the Wonka
Golden
situation.
tickets.
Dude, that movie came out in like the 30s, didn't it?
No, it came out in the
No,
70s.
it's set in an imaginary
Oh, my
time. that
bad.
doesn't
Sorry,
exist,
I get
but
confused. Okay, yeah. So
Gene Wilder was in it as an adult man, so
I
it makes
know,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah, you know.
So one thing led to another. Basically, the whole point of the treehouse was to like who has balls to go up there and sit on it, and then you have to get back down, which was very difficult.
Way harder, even.
Yeah, it was like, like I said, really just like
you just fall down, you hit every nail on the way down, then you're back.
It's just Klinko.
Yeah, so this fucking
it's like
kid
Klinko on your fucking head.
So that's exactly what happened to this kid. He was getting down, and he fell, and the nails scraped up his whole tummy and chest. He's screaming, crying, ran home, fucking ratted on me.
Of
to
course
his mom.
he did. He was a bitch, dude.
So his mom comes over and is fucking screaming at us, why is your son, have access to this shit? And my mom's like, what the fuck?
My son can watch TV, so we'll start there.
Yeah, we'll start there. We don't. My son probably took you out here to go do this shit because you won't let him watch TV in our house.
Yeah, we could have been safe inside watching TV.
Yeah, we could have been safe inside playing Turok, and you're
a boy who's outside in the woods.
Dylan's a 10-year-old boy who's like, what else can I do with this dumbass besides tell him to go up in the fucking tree and see if he can handle it, and he can't.
And he could not.
Clearly can't.
He evidently couldn't.
Yeah, so that's the part one of the story. Part two, I'll make real quick because I have to make it about me because that's what this podcast is about.
Right,
so
exactly. It's not about Mike, no TV.
So same thing happened to me sort of when I lived in Hudson. So like 3 or 4 years before this. So I'm like 7 at this point, and we had a tree in the front yard. It was a dogwood tree. It's a beautiful white tree. And I used to climb that all the time, and I did fall out of that, believe it or not, and my arm got stuck on a half a branch that got stuck out. So it was like a 3-inch spike of just tree only, and it ripped open my arm from like here to my wrist. And I remember being like 7 years old, Chucky, no, and just looking at It ripped my skin open, and I watched, and it took a few seconds for the blood to start coming into it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah,
no,
and I remember watching that and being like, just staring at it and seeing just
settling
white,
in. The shock is settling in.
Yeah, and again, I was young, so I don't know what I was looking at. To me, it looked like a bunch of tendons, but I didn't need stitches for some reason.
Yeah, so it wasn't like
so it wasn't crazy, but I remember watching the blood just take a minute, and I fell out because I fell out of the fucking tree.
Oh yeah, that's horrifying.
Yeah, because I'm doing the right thing, at the right time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the first one of the injuries.
Hell yeah,
memorable ones too. That was a first like real, genuinely memorable one. Besides hitting my head on the railing supports every time I fell down the stairs, which was every time I went down the stairs.
Yeah, we don't have enough time to tell all those ones, but I appreciate
no, that's a quick one. That's the end of that story.
Yeah.
Honorable mention. Just every time I went down the stairs, I fell.
Wear your seatbelts, put on your helmets, because we're going to get to the second segment here where we tell you more stories about us getting bonked and getting scraped and getting fucked up here on the Dylan and Joe Basement Podcast.
Our clients absolutely expect a high level of performance and a high level of results.
We filed a complaint in Lawrence Superior Court, seek damages.
We are not about to let our clients down under any circumstances.
These are long-lasting and ongoing injuries, pursuing that in a very aggressive manner.
For over 25 years, helping people who are injured through no fault of their own get what they deserve is something that I absolutely believe is worth fighting for.
Injured? Call the law offices of Barry Feinstein and Affiliates. Call now.
Everybody clap your hands. We're back to the Dylan and Joe Basement Podcast. We're here talking about our skids, our bumps, our lumps, and our bonks, how we got injured. And luckily, in our advanced age, I'm speaking for myself only, I wouldn't ever put that on you guys, but I've gotten injured quite a bit less now, and the injuries now are more chronic and slow moving. I haven't got as hurt it's just like drastic injuries, but I still, we get hurt every once in a while, and you never know what's going to happen. I've seen a 70-year-old man break his leg kicking ass, so we'll see what we can do here as we go into the rest of our stories of injuries, and we're going to start with Dom next, since he's next up on the lineup. Dom, what happened to you? Whatever happened to you?
I believe if anyone who made it this far obviously saw the first segment where I talked about that treehouse that I commissioned.
Right, the Treehouse of Horror, Simpsons style.
And one of the other things I insisted on, that my dad found a way to do it, he put a trap door in the treehouse.
Oh, yeah, that was actually cool.
That's a nice
I
touch.
like that. I used that 100 times more than any slide ever went down.
Yeah. Well, let's just say the slide wasn't the only thing I fell down in that treehouse.
Well, also the trapdoor opened up, not down, so it's not like a trap.
And it wasn't. It was
like a trapdoor spider, not a trapdoor villain.
Put a little carpet over it, and you're good.
Hopefully, I can find a picture of the treehouse, because it was a treehouse, but also had like a deck on it. And I spent much more time on the deck than in the actual house itself. Where the trap door, which you'd lift up, you could lock it in place, and then climb down these like
Now it's
steel
locked in
rings that
place.
he had. I have no idea where he found those things.
I think those are from like an old like jungle gym set.
I think it was probably from where we got the rocker things too, probably.
Yeah.
But so I was on the
Can you say that anymore? Jungle gym.
jungle.
A play set.
Took me a minute.
Yeah.
Jungle Gym.
There's a
That's gonna be my name next time.
there's a chain restaurant in Canada called Jungle Jim's Eatery. But don't worry, it's Australia based, so
okay.
it's fine.
So it's all good.
Gym.
So I was out on my treehouse. It was my treehouse, playing on the deck. I knew a bunch of cousins were coming over for who knows why. People were always coming over that house.
Oh yeah.
And I saw one of my cousins show up, and I got so excited. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. I opened up the trap door, went to go down, missed my first step immediately.
Whoops.
Now, I was in such a rush, I didn't
No, you're in
lift
there, but then it's just a fucking kid falling down.
I didn't
Sorry,
lift
go
it
on,
up
yeah.
all the way and lock it open. I just pushed up, and I went to go down, slipped, it came down, hit me, and I scraped my back on the floor of it while I was falling.
Oh man.
Then what did the
Poor kid.
boo down the metal ring?
Yeah, the graceful fall hit everything on the way down.
And then the next thing I remember, I was in, then again, not the emergency room. It was, I mean, maybe technically the emergency room, but it wasn't the hospital. It was at my pediatrician's office. Next
I
thing
don't
I
think
remember
you know what the
was-
emergency room is. They didn't schedule an appointment for you to come in.
Yeah, but
oh,
I
do
mean,
you have
it
anything
wasn't
free
the
today? My son just fell down a tree. That's the emergency
wasn't the-
room there, Josh.
But it wasn't at a hospital though. It was at
Okay.
a doctor's office.
Yeah, just a normal. Yeah, so you can do. Yeah, all right.
Anyways, next thing I remember was being there, then being like, all right, we're gonna knock you out.
Also,
You're
that
gonna
could have
get
been 3
6 stitches in
days.
your
You're
back.
gonna go over 3 days. Hey, wake up! We had an appointment ready to rock.
And they knocked you out for stitches?
They were, I guess, I don't know. They were in my back. I got stitches like down. my
Yeah, we're gonna put them under for this.
Just hit him in the head again. Yeah, shut up.
Can you have him fall down one more time? So we don't have to worry about.
Just
Or you
one
do,
more
you do the
anesthesia?
master and commander thing. You just drink some whiskey and then put the stick in your mouth.
Either that, or
Yeah,
I
bite
just.
down.
There's a possibility I just blocked out that part of the day, and I just remember getting
It
the
seems
stitches.
odd that they would put
then-
you under, but
Coming back to the house where all my cousins are there, still.
same day.
And you've got stitches in your back. What a fucking funny place to get them. Who can say that?
Dude, you
was
just be able to
there?
see the scar. It was like not right down the middle, but pretty much like
Just
a
missed
few
the
inches
spine?
off of my spine.
Yeah, nice.
Just sliced down my back.
Ooh,
That's
that
great.
sucks.
Like, fucking,
And,
even Frankenstein didn't have stitches back
I could,
there.
That's a good line. Hey, buddy, Frankenstein here is back there, okay?
I can
You're
only
a
imagine
big
it was
fella.
like for my cousin got to our house and like, oh, I get to play with my other cousin, and immediately see me have to go to the emergency room.
Not a fun start to the day.
And there, trust me, we'll hear about it.
To the point where the amount of probably 4 or 5 cousins to this day, 20 years later, be like, hey, remember that time we came over and you fell down the treehouse? I had to go to the doctor's, get a stitch in your back.
There you go.
It's very funny. I like that.
Even Taylor, he doesn't do it anymore, but for like 10 years, he'd be like, if I ever saw him, he'd be like, hey, dude, lift your shirt up. Let me see the scar in your back from that time you fell out of the treehouse.
Did you get the wind knocked out of you?
I don't
must
remember.
have, right?
I remember falling and I remember getting the stitches. I
It'd
remember
be
not
crazy
thinking-
if
You
he
might have,
didn't
'cause,
get
like,
the wind knocked out of him. Falling
I've
from
only
that
had
height.
the wind knocked out of me twice, and one of them was I
Really?
don't remember that story, but it was in the orange.
You've broken
space.
more bones than had the wind knocked out of you. I had the wind knocked out of me like 20 times. It's the worst.
I had it knocked out of me once because I fell off of a ladder or something.
Yeah.
And I hit the ground, and your respiratory system goes into some sort of spasm.
I think it's because your
You
what's
can't
not your
breathe.
diaphragm. Is that what's that thing? That
It
makes
could be
you,
your
like,
diaphragm.
Could be.
the muscle that
something.
makes you breathe.
That's
That
your
thing like
diaphragm, but-
that thing like fucks up, and that's why you can't breathe because it's not like doing the thing it usually does. So you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
won't
Yeah,
do
and
it.
Shock.
you cannot breathe, and it's painful.
Your
and
lungs
it's
don't do anything. Your lungs are just
terrifying.
spongy.
They're just there.
Yeah. So if your diaphragm
so
doesn't like
terrifying.
help you
I mean-
breathe, it just stays there and you just can't breathe.
I've probably only had the wind knocked out of me a handful of times, but
I've only
the
had it
I
last
think when I
time-
had me by probably Dylan. We used to do tackle football. Every time I got tackled, I'd be like,
the last time
I've been hit fucking hard, but I've only had it actually.
oh,
having
I had
this-
the wind knocked out of me. Yeah. Well, I'm a bitch.
The
by
last
way. I don't
time,
know
last
that
time wasn't
counts.
really knocked out of me. It was more I saw Joe in a suit and he took my breath away.
Oh, that's a little different.
That happens to all of us when we see him.
Oh boy. That's
But
a
yeah,
good
but
one.
that is my second treehouse injury that I've
That's
ever
pretty
had.
good. Well, on that note, that next story happened about 20 feet away from that. I could see the treehouse from this occasion. Wow, it was the same house. Around the treehouse, you go up a hill and you turn the corner, and it's the front of the house. It's the side door, but it's the main door everyone walks in. The other door is only for Kira. It's not for people to walk in.
Yeah.
And so next to that was at the time a flower bed that was separating the yard portion from the actual pavement of the driveway. We were running around. It was a cousin sleepover night. We're all up to having fun. We're manhunts, freeze tag, whatever we were doing. We were running, and we went to be running inside, and I was like either running away or chasing somebody, and I must have been 14 or 15. I wasn't that young. I wasn't like a little kid. I was like old enough that I should have known better. And I went running as fast as I could up that hill. So my pace is slowing down, and I jumped over the flower bed. I was like, I don't want to step on the flowers because then I'll be in trouble. So as I clear the flower bed, I land on my ankle sideways. Like my ankle's completely sideways, and I feel that pull, and I was like, oh man, that hurt.
Oh shit, yeah.
I think I twisted my ankle, which I twisted my ankle. When you play like basketball or you're just a kid, you twist your ankle all the time, and you're just like, oh, that hurt. I screwed it up. And I walked inside. I was kind of limping. I was like, oh, man, I jumped over the flower bed like an idiot. I should just walked around it. And the rest of the night, I had my ankle up on the couch. Still went through the whole sleepover. And the next morning, it looked like a fucking balloon. It was this big ball thing. And I was like, it hurts so bad. I could feel like your pulse going through it. I was like, it started hurting more and more and more. I barely slept. And I was like, oh, my God, this hurts so bad. And I went to the hospital the next day. Doug brought me there. And they were like, yeah, you didn't break anything. You just you ripped the muscle or the tendon or whatever. So like, yeah, you just have to wear an air cast for like a couple of months. And it was the worst of both worlds. Didn't break anything, so not cool at all. Broke it jumping over a flower bed like a bitch. And
Yeah, it's good.
I jumped over some flowers and I twisted my ankle. Oh no, it hurts so bad. Couldn't walk on it and had an air cast, not a real cast, just like a little like slip.
I remember you in an air
shin
cast.
guards.
This makes sense to me. I remember
That's
that.
what happened. Just twisted my little ankle, and then I couldn't walk on it for like a month and a half, or whatever. It sucked, and for me, it was not only the dumbest injury. It was that again, much like the head shake, I couldn't even be like, oh man, I got fucked. I was like, what'd you do? You jumped over some flowers and you twisted your ankle. Now you can't walk. You're a bitch. But it hurt. I'll tell you, it hurt. It didn't feel good.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it happened. I could see the treehouse from where it happened.
Yeah, I can picture it happening for sure. I know exactly.
Dom
where
was
it
definitely there for the occasion where
Yeah.
they're like,
I
"What
don't remember
happened?"
it
I'm
at
like,
all, though.
"Oh, it hurts." And they're like, "Oh, what happened? You twisted your ankle. You'll be fine." And the next morning, people were like, "Oh yeah, you probably have to get that checked out."
Nice. I've got. I'm going to consolidate these ones because one's a 2-second story, and the other one's actually a longer, funny story. Just honorable mention. Same time, I don't know, 4th grade ish, in my mom's front yard, which is like the woods, and I was doing stuff in there, and I legitimately tripped over barbed wire because the barbed wire went into my shins.
Why was there?
That
barbed wire?
was cool. I don't know. It's still there. I don't fucking have a
hanging
clue.
out.
It's still in your shin.
Nope, maybe, but no, but that reminds me. Also, around the same time,
It's hard to throw away, I suppose.
yeah, that was the bloody poke hole in my leg. Fucking disgusting.
Tetanus shot incoming.
Tetanus shot, the whole thing. Also, around the same time, I was going down the basement stairs in barefoot with a pencil in my pocket. That
Are you just happy to see me?
yeah, and it was, I don't know why it was like in there shitty. I don't know. It was like in it. I watched it slow motion fall out, land on the eraser as I'm running down the stairs, and I put 100% of my 90 pounds on this, and it went up and into my dead ball center of my right foot.
Most sensitive spot there.
And it's in it. So I picked up my foot, and there's a pencil
to win it.
stuck in my foot. And then I pulled it out, and then my mom's white tile, there's bloody footprints all over it, walking from there to the kitchen. There's blood. That was a bloody mess, and I'm pretty sure that pencil tip is still on my foot because I can feel there's still like a thing in there.
It's just part of you now.
So anyways, the real story, these are all the same time, Jared, is all around the same time. I'm at, me and my friend are at our sister's end-of-the-year softball party right near where your house
Can't
was in
miss
Hudson,
event,
Joe.
like the Oscars.
Gotta go to that. So it's at someone's house near where you grew on Huron Drive. It's
like
right around there.
Lakeview area. Whatever.
Yeah, real close though. Like one of the streets right near there. And
Yep.
and I'm there, and me and my friend and the other boy there found a scooter, and it happens to be a. So again, I'm like at this point, maybe I'm 5 feet tall tops. So I don't know. We're in 4th grade. That's about what that is, right?
Sure, yeah, that's pretty
I'd say
tall.
5
I wasn't
feet.
5 feet tall until I was like 14 years old.
I don't know
You
what
were
it was.
taller
They're
than me though.
not really. I mean, sort of, but
No, you were taller. Like now we're the same height, but there was a good like 2 years where you were like, I had to like look up at you.
wow, that must have been cool.
Yeah, for you.
Wish I took advantage of that. Yeah. Never thought,
Yeah,
like, I was
like
a-
you and Brian like grew faster, so like I would like to like look up at you guys, and now we're like all the same eye level. But there was like a good like from like 12 to 14, 15, you were definitely like inches taller, like 4 or 5 inches taller than me for
no
sure.
shit. Nice.
Yeah,
Didn't know
because they
that.
used to have you everybody line up by height, and I was like
None of my
back
friends
of the
were like
line
that.
for old.
Shit.
I was like
Well-
5 foot until I was like at least like in 15 years old, 14 and a half. Sucked.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever I was like 100 pounds tops. I don't know.
Still
And,
getting pussy though. No, I'm just
still
kidding.
getting pussy. Yep.
Wasn't even
And
cool.
no, so my entire intention of riding this Barbie scooter around was to see how high we could bunny
yes.
hop
I
and bunny
now know
hop
the story.
over
Oh.
obstacles
The hell up.
and all that stuff. And it's a plastic pink
Also
Barbie scooter.
mentioned that there was so many people there too. It wasn't
A lot of
wasn't just
people,
you.
all girls my age.
Yep.
Barely
Way
any
worse
guys.
than you and Mike TV. It's like this is the realness.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. So I'm very, very much trying to show off.
Motivated to go for it.
So I can get the ladies. That's all I'm doing. That is 110% what I'm doing.
It's all
There is
about.
nothing else. No other intention here at all besides like there's girls watching. I'm gonna bunny hop this Barbie scooter is so fucking high.
Let's go.
They're gonna love this. So I'm doing that. We're taking turns. I'm doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I fucking woke up in a fucking recliner. At this person's house, at my sister's friend's fucking house, on the public softball team, and I really don't know anybody. And all of a sudden, I'm in a fucking chair inside the house, and I'm fucked. So
Yeesh.
Barbie scooter fucking breaks. I face
bonked
plant
pretty good.
in the driveway. Out
Yeah.
fucking cold.
Yeah, he didn't just lose
Yeah.
his footing. The thing exploded in his head
Exploded
right to the
because it's
ground.
meant for a 3-year-old who weighs 15 pounds, and we're
And they're
severely
not even
abusing
trying
this thing.
stunts of that magnitude. But
No. It's like the new ones now that have 3 wheels that they just ride around the house. It was like one of those.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
So
just really going for it.
yeah, I'm out fucking cold. And
You basically
and-
jumped up in the air and put your head towards the
Yeah,
cement
literally.
to see what happens.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did, and
Probably
probably
also
even
the
more.
fulcrum, yeah, because like you twist.
Yeah,
it
you put
downwards.
some exactly.
You wake up on the chair, they're like, "Are you okay? You just broke my fucking scooter."
And like talk about being a fucking idiot. You hit your head on the pool wall. Like I was like bunny hopping a Barbie scooter, and I knocked myself the fuck out for real.
Yeah, I remain conscious
Yeah.
for mine, luckily. But they would have been fishing me out of the pool.
Yeah, and then I'm fucking at the hospital, and I don't remember anything else. But out the fuck
Yeah,
cold.
and that was the first on many head
First
injuries.
of many
Now
head
Dylan's
injuries.
Not allowed to
that
do
was
certain
that was
things.
number one memorable one. Like I said, when I was young, I used to hit my head off of
CTE.
the. We had one set of stairs inside the house that went straight to the front door. And as a kid, I don't know about you guys, but every time me and my brother and sister saw stairs, miss my brother, we'd be like, I don't know, I'm not going to go first. You go first. And then someone would go first, immediately fall and roll down the stairs. I'm like, shit, I'm not going to be able to do this. And then I'd take a step. Exactly the same thing happened to me. And then I remember hitting my head on all the poles on the side of the
Yeah,
railing.
like the banister, all the poles on the way down.
Yeah, exactly. And my brother previously did the same thing and broke his arm. So I was like, this is a danger place.
Yeah,
This
you
is
gotta watch
very
out.
dangerous. Walking down these stairs is a very... Chucky! He's eating the dead... He's eating the dead
Very
fish.
chooky.
He's trying to get the fucking mackerel skin.
Gravity is an
Hey,
enemy
hey,
for many children.
Don't even think about it. I'm making
think-
sushi and I had to
think he
peel
already
the
thought
skin
about it.
off the mackerel and it's in the sink right now.
Making
So-
chooky. I mean, that's really tempting for him. I mean, you're giving him a hard time.
No, I made them mackerel the other day. I boiled
Yeah.
it, and they didn't fucking like it. So now he's trying to eat.
He wants the raw stuff. He wants the sushi version.
He wants it raw.
Yeah, he does. Hey, come here, buddy. Hey, let's not do this. So yeah, that was it. I fucking blacked out from a Barbie scooter.
So you have to get
sucked.
stitches or stuff, or they're just like, hey, don't be moving around so much. You're gonna throw up and forget.
No, because it was more like because it didn't split open.
Yeah,
like,
it just your brain smashed against the.
My
skull
brain
casing.
smashed against my skull, and I had like it looks like when you like you scrape your knee, my head looked like that.
Oh yeah. Oh damn.
Yeah.
Bonk.
Yeah.
Jeez. Ooh.
Yep. That was that one.
Dom, you got another one?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Let's
stick
go one
with,
more round before we do another break.
All right, I'm gonna stick with the theme of Joe, where it was also at my parents' house, and Dylan, where it involved stairs.
Like that. Oh, stairs are great. Yep.
Small stairs. The stairs going into my parents' kitchen from outside. It's only 3-4 stairs high. Mm-hmm. Now they're wood, but underneath them is the original not smooth concrete that they were made out of.
Nice.
My mom and I were on a bike ride. We were coming back, and she was like, "I bet I'll beat you home." And I was like, "No way, you can beat me home." Took a shortcut. I beat her home. I'm gonna take it one step more. I'm gonna beat her inside the house.
Nice.
So I dump my bike.
Commit.
I'm sprinting. I go. I know I can do just every other step really fast.
I can just jump right off this whole thing.
I go. No.
You probably have a huge head start too.
Yeah, no need for any of this at all. But she challenged me, therefore it's her fault.
Oh, you're blaming her again.
You did this. You eat shit up the stairs. You start
Why'd you do
You
this?
start yelling at your mom.
I'm gonna blame somebody. I'm not gonna blame God.
Blame myself for this.
Why did you make me do this?
I take my first step up the stairs, slip, forward momentum, scrape about 6 inches of my shin on the concrete stairs.
God damn.
So I don't know if you ever had like a hard impact to your shin. You basically can't walk on it.
It changes a man.
Razor scooter slam. We all.
Oh yeah, the metal on the. Oh,
if you can't think of a time, you know what that feels
so
like.
sensitive.
That's all we're gonna say. Yeah.
So I have to like hobble up the stairs, go inside. She gets there.
Walk on your heels because the front doesn't work.
Yeah. You're doing like the Weekend at Bernie's walk into your.
Yeah. I hobble inside. This is all before she even gets back to the house on her bike. I'm in the kitchen.
That's how much of a head start you had. She's not even witnessing it. You had plenty of time.
I got inside after getting injured.
You think it was a time trial? You had to get. They had to. You're in the clear.
Oh man, this is a story where
but it's her
just
fault.
Talking about it. Just talking about it, my shin starts to hurt.
Sick.
Yeah.
I got inside. I think I was just like sitting on the ground,
her.
just like holding my leg, and she comes. She goes,
record.
"Oh, you beat me." And she went, "Oh my god, what happened?" And I was like, I still can barely talk from the pain.
Yeah. You're in the zone. The shock
And
zone.
it was rough. There's not much there except for bone and skin. Again, it wasn't like cut open. It was just a scrape. But it was a long ass.
But it's
scrape,
all
so
the
enough
nerves
for it to
along the
bleed
line
through.
there. Yeah.
So she was like, "Well, I can't put a Band-Aid on that. 6 inches long." So she just like took some gauze, folded it up so it was like this long,
So
taped it to my shin.
Nice.
And she was like, "All right, here's some Advil. I don't know what else to do for you other than this."
Yeah. God forbid you learn a lesson from this.
It was, don't race next time she challenges me because it's not worth it.
Or know when you're in the lead and take your time.
But it was, I went to the movies later that night, had my leg all wrapped up so you couldn't see what happened. Could barely walk on it. Just like,
Kids are so funny.
had to wear
You
shorts.
still have a whole plans for the night. You're going to wait though.
Had to wear shorts because
see
pants
Monsters,
touching
Inc.
it
just
hurt.
because you were.
Oh, I wish I could remember what movie it was. It was definitely something stupid. I think I was like 13.
Secret
And
window.
like a week later, I had like 4 like the big Band-Aids on it.
Yeah.
Party at in Northborough, and Doug was like, "Hey, so what happened to your shin?" You know, he's well into his way of being a physical therapist.
Yeah.
Once he's like, I'm like, "Yeah, I gotta change the Band-Aids, but I got all this leg hair." And he's like, "This is what you do. Go upstairs. This is not his house, and it's not my house. He goes, go upstairs, go in the bathroom."
He's another hairy Italian guy. He knows how it is. The Band-Aids come on.
Take your pants off, stick your leg in the shower with hot water, let it sit for a while, then they'll come off pretty easily.
Nice.
Boy, did they not come off.
I was going to say, that doesn't fucking work. There's no way that works.
So now I'm taking the
He was so
Band-Aids off.
convincing, though.
Should you pinch near the area, really hurt yourself more in another spot
what
than
you
do
do
that,
Yeah.
and then you just hurt in both places now. The same. Yeah.
So now I'm ripping hair out with the Band-Aid. It still hurts because just the skin moving is still hurting where the strafe is.
Oh shit.
yeah.
Yeah, that
And
sucks.
yeah, he wanted
Open
me
the
to
cut
come
right
back
back up.
downstairs so he could see what it looked like before I put more Band-Aids
laughs
back
at you.
on. That one, I swear, the scabs were there for easily 2 or 3 months. It was a long heal.
Goddamn picket
that's
line
good.
jumpers.
No, I was just thinking, like, just a little slight interruption. How funny this is. There's 3 girls on this podcast of the same age. This wouldn't be anything except if they were not 2, but 3 sisters together. Because I've met 3 siblings who are girls, and it's not that they fucking ate shit skateboarding or fucking were being dumb fucks. They physically hurt each other.
Yeah, they were after
Sisters
each other. Yeah.
are dragging each other. I know someone who
By the hair and
whose
stuff.
sister dragged her across her lawn by the hair
That's so
because
funny.
of something stupid.
Yeah.
So that's only if there's 3 of them that were siblings can that be as effective as 3 stranger boys who are not pussies.
The danger zone.
Yeah, like they physically like hurt each other, whereas like if guys hurt each other, it was because we're trying to have fun, not because I fucking hate you.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah, it
going
was a
to-
malicious
I'm gonna pull
pain.
your hair. Girls have malicious pain. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Joe, your turn.
All right, I'll do another story. I'm working my way up through the ages, so this is the next thing.
That's kind of what I'm doing too. Exactly what I'm doing.
This story, I don't know if I don't think I've told it on the podcast before, and if I have, please forgive me. But this is one of my favorite stories to tell because it was the closest I had facing the Grim Reaper, looking at me dead in the eyes, being like, "What do you think of them, buddy?" Obviously, I've been closer to death than this, a car accident and stuff like that. But this is the closest where I got to see the other side, and I was like, I don't want any part of this. I'm so scared. I was working at Charter Oaks Golf Course, and
Oh, I know the story. I'll stop talking.
I was working. I think I worked there for 2 years. I was doing one year. I was doing it most of the time. The other year I was doing double. It was literally like working 2 jobs. One of them was at the Buffet Way, and I work at Charter Oak also in the same day sometimes. I fucking hate it there, and I hate
day.
golf. And everyone who plays golf is a fucking snobby douchebag because.
Whoa,
of
whoa,
this
whoa,
place.
whoa, 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 whoa!
Yep.
Don't talk about
Yep.
Gaylord Springs Golf Course that way.
I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I know a lot of
good
friends
men
golf
there in
now, and
Tennessee.
They're really cool guys, but just the whole thing.
Every single one of them. Yeah.
My only experience with it is working and hating everybody there, and even people I worked with that weren't in the same position as me. And one of them was Pat Lombardo, and I was like, this is cool. He's a cool guy. But everyone who's like, our bosses were all failed pro golfers that were like, well, now I'm teaching golf to
That's
adult men.
horrible.
But they'll still get out there and be like, I'm still hitting pretty good. Like I could have been something. But now I'm
Nothing
selling
makes me want to
t-shirts.
blow my head off more than
Yeah.
all of
And
this.
These guys were sad douches. Like they were all like, we're PGA pros. It was the name of it. If you get certified to like teach adult men how to play.
I'm an
sport.
overweight 50-something-year-old wearing a horizontally striped pink polo shirt with white shorts.
Yeah, and you're
And
with a
I think, and all I'm
27-year-old.
talking about is how I went to Switzerland when I was 19 on a trip and had sex with every fucking person in Switzerland.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, but you
No,
didn't.
but my
You
bosses
fucking
were like
didn't.
27-year-olds who were like, I could have been something. I had to teach this guy how to play golf. Like that was the people who were the boss. It was the one boss who was like the oldest guy, and he was like the best at golf because he's old or whatever.
Pussy in college
The other
is
guys
so
were like
fucking
probably
good.
either my age now or most likely younger than me, and they were like, man, I didn't play golf. They already didn't respect me for that. I was like, yeah, this shit's gay. I don't like it at all. And I'd be out there in the the ball catcher getting drilled and being like, this shit sucks. And they're like, you gotta get out there for longer, man. You're not doing enough work. Like, just go out there and just chill and just get out there. They fucking hated me. They did not like me at all. So one of the days I was out there, you have to rack all the balls up in the machine the whole time. You bring them all back and you put them in this giant tub, like picture like a bobbing for apples tub, like Rubbermaid with what do you call them, rope handles, and you would fill the thing up with golf balls. It would be like, I don't know, like 50 pounds, which I at the time weighed like 100 pounds maybe, so it's like my whole body weight. You have to take that tub and pour it into this hopper. This hopper is probably about the size of like I don't know, like a 3 foot long by like a foot and a half, 3 feet, and you put it
Ball
on there.
gurgler, right?
The ball gurgler. And that was set atop this machine that was encased, but inside it was basically a giant rolling pin that's made out of brush bristles. And it would just spin. You turn it on and go, wah, wah, wah. It had a bunch of, like, you know, chemicals in it. And it would just wash all these balls. And they would come through and then go they pop out the other side. You have to take them all out, put them in the buckets, put them back. But this thing was so heavy that I never could lift it up and be like, dump. I would, like, use my hips. I'd be like, trying to get my whole body weight to get on top of it, put it over. I was so weak. I still am weak. Probably couldn't do it now. But you had to do my full body weight. And I
Picturing
would lean
Snot
up.
from American Dad put fucking golf balls in a ball gurgler.
Basically me. So this big old bucket, I'd be dumping it on there, and you couldn't just dump the whole thing and be done with it. You had to, like, kind of wait, because the hopper wasn't that big, so you'd be like, shake, 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 until it got lighter and lighter.
Shake it all the time.
Yeah.
Just thinking that.
And of course, your uniform is Charter Oak Country Club salmon-colored shirt, gay, and shorts, like khaki shorts, to be like, you know, and, you know, tuck it in and look nice, whatever, when you're out there, you know, scraping shit off.
But just wait the fuck on. Hang on. So you're wearing all this shit, and it's this exclusive fucking driveway and whatever it is, and those fucking... I thought this was for rich people. They're reusing balls?
Of
Rich
course.
people don't
It's
reuse
the driving
balls.
range.
Golf courses
It's the
reuse
driving
balls
range.
at the driving
Oh, I didn't know they had one there. I thought it was just the golf course. I'm like, these
No,
fuckers
they
are
have
collecting
everything.
balls out of the fucking alligator ponds.
No, I wish it was that. No, it's me driving around, so I'm collecting, like...
Oh,
you
you're
know,
driving the thing
every
while people
time
are
you
hitting
pull
the fucking thing.
Every time you pull in the thing, it's like you have a 3,000 golf balls, you know, and then you dump it and you go back again and do it again. So I was doing this like 20, 30 times on a clip, and then I'd luckily have a break and go back and do it all again. It's all you're doing. And I got no upper body strength at all. And so I'm up against the machine. Now, here's the detail of the machine. Besides that, there's a giant rolling pin inside it, hopper on top. The rolling pin, if I designed the machine, would have caps on the ends, but this one didn't. The ends of the rolling pin were two metal cylinders that hang out the side, and it's machine power. So it's a rolling pin. The pins on the end are extruding out of the side, so they're currently spinning. So if you would have put your finger on it and left it there, it would just keep scraping it. But you never do that. You're like, I don't want to touch that part. But that part is the machine power of the rolling pin pushing around 100 balls at a time. And it's on, it's on. And here's the kicker. I'm dumping the balls in from one side of it. The on-off switch is on the other side of it. And that is when you can turn it off. And when
Centrifugal
it's
force.
When it's on, baby. And when it's off, it's off. But that's it. So I go and I dump these balls out. It's on a summer evening. It's probably have like 2 more hours left to work. I just want to go the fuck home and go probably go drive 45 minutes to go see my girlfriend for an hour and drive home.
Or do what the CIA tells you to do.
Yeah, or do what the CIA tells me to do. So I'm dumping the balls up on there, and I feel a tug, and I look down. The edge of the pin has caught the bottom of my khaki shorts, and it's twisting and twisting and twisting. And I go to reach the edge of the machine. I can't turn it off. So for all the folks out there, I got a little example of this piece of paper here. It's just doing this. And it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and my balls are approaching I go, somebody help me!
On the top. The ball is supposed to be on the side.
I've dumped the bucket at this point. Now I'm the rolling pins bitch, and I'm getting sucked in the machine. My life flashed before my eyes. I was like, I'm going to lose my entire genitalia to this rolling pin.
Oh, no, you're gonna fucking die. We've seen videos of people get sucked
into
lathes. They fucking.
That's
die,
why
dude.
I forget when I see machines now. Because this store, I go, machines, you don't fuck with them. They don't, and no mercy, don't slow down. They just keep pushing. And so I got all the way to the point, and I was pushing away as hard as I could. But the machine, I have the full tension. It's like taking a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
Rip it with your hands. It ain't going to happen. They're all threaded together. So I'm pushing as hard as I can. This thing's pulling me in closer and closer. My hips are going up to it. Now I'm at the point where it's luckily my dick's a little bit up. It's scraping my ball sack. The metal
Oh my god.
is scraping my balls. And I'm like, oh my God,
Jesus
somebody help me. I'm screaming, oh, wow. No one's coming. No one can fucking hear me. No one gives a fuck anyway. Who cares? And it's currently scraping my scrotum with a spinning. And I go, oh my. And
Holy shit.
thank the Lord, my shorts finally are torn up enough that they rip, and I fall to the ground, and I'm like, I'm beside myself. I'm in shock, complete shock. I'm like, I thought I was gonna lose my penis, my balls, everything, and my balls are all scraped up and they're bleeding, and my shorts are ripped, so you can see like all the way up my leg is just my body. you can see my like hips basically, and then the other leg's still on. And I walk down to the clubhouse, and I'm like fucking 1,000-yard stare. My balls are bleeding. I'm like, I walk inside, and I was like, and they go, oh, what happened to you? And I'm like, the machine, it fucking, my balls, and I almost fucking died. And they're like, okay, buddy, have a lemonade. You're a bitch anyway. And I'm like, I don't know what even happened. The whole thing, they're like, all right, man, well, why don't you, like 10 minutes in, I'm like sipping the thing, like, well, why don't you go home? And I was like, thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, the real reason is because they're like, well, we're not giving you a new pair of shorts.
No, you just need to leave. Yeah, but yeah, they're obviously the least sympathetic guys. They already hated me, and like, look at this.
You
bitch,
fucking
she almost
own
lost
that
his
place
balls.
for that shit. That's a fucking OSHA violation times a million because they didn't have caps on the
I
fucking
only now
thing.
know like why would they have? There's no reason to
And
have
you
caps.
definitely weren't trained properly on that machine. There's no way.
No.
No way.
Yeah. So then, I luckily I drove home, and I'm still like, even I'm getting like when you're in the car, I start to get like the handshaking thing because like all your adrenaline's wearing off, and I'm like, oh man, freaking out. And I get home and I call my mom and I'm like, oh my God, I almost lost my whole junk and everything. And she goes like, well, if you actually think it's dangerous or whatever, why don't you call Kath, who's my aunt, who's a nurse. And this poor lady's seen more shit in our family than anybody. So I call her over and I go, can you just make sure everything's okay? I don't know if it's okay. I'm worried about to lose my balls. And so she had to go over there and on the porch, and I had to be like, these are my balls. And she was like, yeah, you're all right. I was like, okay, thanks. It was just scraped up. Luckily, it didn't like puncture through, but it was just all red and like rashy and bloody and shit. And she was like, you're okay, just like ice it, whatever, you're fine. And of course, now like I'm settled down after like an hour of being at home, and I get a call from my girlfriend, and I was like, you'll never believe what happened to me today. This and that. She's like, oh yeah, you want to come over? And I was like, hell yeah, let's hang out. And then as soon as I get over there, she's like, huh? And I was like, oh my God, please don't. Stop. It hurts so bad.
You heard the story I told you. Right?
And she's like, no, I just want to make you feel good. I'm like, don't, please, I can't. I
Not
can't.
the time and place for that.
I can't. So unfortunately, God bless my amazing aunt Kath. I have to look at my balls that got scraped up. But that still terrifies me to say. When I see machine accidents, I go, I know the powerlessness you feel. And I still never hit the off button. The pants ripping is what saved me. The off button didn't happen until like I was like 10 minutes later. I was like, all right, I better turn it off now. That thing kept spinning with my shorts like rave. Kept going. Oh boy, that's scared. I still get scared today just thinking about that. I could have been dickless, ballless Joe for the past whatever, however many years. That would have been my own.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Whew, baby, that's scary shit. Anyway,
I vote we take a break now, then I'll finish this round off when we get back.
Think about it.
Put some time in, yeah.
Hey guys, check what you got down there, and thank the good Lord you still have it. There, but for the grace of God, go I and my genitalia.
Hi, I'm Byron Brown, personal injury attorney. How do you know if I'm the right guy to settle your claim? Because I got this scale thing? Nope. Because I have all these law books? Nah, because I'm wearing this fancy blue suit? Bull. I'm straight to the point. I'll answer your call. No BS. I'm the anti-lawyer.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Dylan Joe Basement Podcast. We're your favorite hosts, Dylan Joe and Dom. On today's episode 100 and something, 106, where we're talking about injuries. So I would like to make this quick little halfsy here. So I've got two very important ones, and one of those two is actually like three. So what I'm going to say. So, all right, this starts chronologically.
But don't you want to go back in again? Because I know you said you're going to do three, but like I'll do one. We're going to
no. It's what I've been doing.
We're not going to do 3 in a row, 2 in a row, then me last, are we?
No.
Okay, all right, then I'll start with my. All right,
yeah.
Okay, so I got one.
We all said no, but Dylan just said he was going to do that, so it's fine.
I got my one, but
we'll do it again.
I've got one, but just like I've been doing, I'm just going to. It's a 3 short stories.
Okay.
So
that's
one
no problem.
long one. So
as long as you have another one after that, then we'll be good to go.
Oh, I definitely do. Yeah,
I know you do. Yeah,
so
my bad. All right,
my first time really getting hit in the nuts
Ooh, we haven't had a
is-
nut shot story
No,
yet.
this
I
is
mean,
why
mine
I'm
was
gonna
kind of, but not
combine
really.
them because they're. I've got one. I don't have a number of how many times I've been hitting the balls so hard you can't breathe and you are thinking you're gonna cough up blood.
It
Like we're not
changes a
talking
man.
little ball taps or
Into a
like the
woman.
occasional baseball off them here and there. We're talking like genuine, like
Yeah, you collapse to
Jane
the floor.
Silent Bob end of the movie getting
Yeah, the
hit in
cock knocker.
the cock
Yeah.
knocker.
Mark Hamill.
Full blown fucking punch in the balls type of thing. So the first one, which could be the worst, I can't tell. It's very hard to gauge that scale of pain because it goes off the meter every time when you're hit that hard. So first one, I think I was in 5th grade, and me and some friends were hanging out in their bedroom, and we were tying. We had a pillow fight, then turned into a blanket fight, then blanket fight turned into tie the blankets into a big ball at the end.
Oh,
You pull
yeah.
it-
Classic.
and you pull it really, really tight because you're basically swinging around a chain ball.
Yeah,
Basically,
the blanket aspect of it goes away entirely. Now
You
it's,
think
you're
that
getting
it's
hit
like,
by
if you're a
objects.
girl who's never had a blanket fight before, where you tie a knot at the end,
Yeah,
you don't understand at all, and the knot gets big. Like you can make them pretty big, and they are rock hard. So, bunch of dudes rock hard in their bedroom in 5th grade, fighting,
Just going
Rock
at
hard
it.
wrestling.
blanket fight.
had a blanket fight, and you know it's very
Dude,
violent.
boys
It's
are such maniacs. They
extremely-
turn a blanket fight into like a lethal event. Like,
No,
I was gonna
how
say,
do I
it
turn
gets-
this nice soft thing into like the most harmful thing I
Well,
can
there's
think?
no like I'm not going to hit this person as hard as I living can at that age.
You're always
It's-
going 100%.
You're going 110% the whole time. You're all borderline puberty.
If you
There's
don't, they
no-
will. So you got
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah.
Instructions.
Yep. If you don't, they will. It's kill or be killed. There's no
Yeah.
like guys, no headshots, no nut shots. It's no.
It's all headshots, all nut
all
shots.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, mostly all headshots, and then you can
Yeah.
get an opportunity to get one
It's
else
not all
in there.
nut shots, but
And
you know.
it's not, but there's no gentleman's rules when you're in 5th grade. It's hurt the
You're
other
not
person
gentlemen,
as
you're
much
dumb
as you can,
maniac
and
monster.
also take it off the fucking face as hard as you can too to show you're not a bitch. So like, no pussies here, no crying. Someone in this group ended up crying.
Yeah, if there were any pussies there, you
Several
wouldn't be playing
times.
with blankets.
Yeah, right. You said that right, Dom. Exactly. Yeah,
Doing
we'd be
spin the
using.
bottle.
Yeah. So this is all going down, and it's violent. This is genuine, pure violence, and everything we ever did at that age was violence based.
It's malice too. It's not like, oh, we're just having fun, like a boxing match. Like, hey, whoever wins wins. It's like, I want to hurt you because you want to hurt me. I'm
Yeah.
mad. Like it's hatred. It's not like, hey, leave it all on the floor there. Just try your hardest. It's like, as soon as you hit me, like, I'm actually mad at you, and I really want to hurt you and make you
Yeah.
hurt. Like it's
Well, when me and
it's
this is
anger.
before, but when me and Brian used to box in 5th grade, we
It wasn't gentlemen's.
had braces, and we would respect each other and encourage each other, but we'd hit each other in the face as hard as we fucking could.
Yeah, just
And
imprint
so
those
much so
things
that
in your top
my
lip or
braces
bottom
got
lip.
stuck to my bottom lip like this, and
Yeah.
to pull them out, and where blood coming out. Yeah,
Happened to
So
me. You got
anyways,
hit in the face of the basketball. You had to do the.
pull them out. Yeah, exactly. And on top of nosebleeds and everything else, great. But anyway, so blanket fight. Same. A little before that, I get knocked on the bed and spread like a starfish. And
Hold on, we're still talking about blanket fights.
Yes.
Oh boy, yeah.
Sorry, I
I'm getting
just-
all wound up. Give us
I'm
a
on the
low
back
five.
of the bed like a starfish, but my feet are still on the floor. And my friend's older brother
They're gonna be behind your ears pretty soon if I have my way.
does like he's chopping wood with an axe with the pillow ball.
Oh, the full fulcrum swing.
Full chopping the axe swing right onto my straight balls, and I sat up like a fucking rubber chicken when you squeeze it.
Yeah, do the scream.
Straight the fuck up, and I don't know if I could even produce a sound at that point. I was in so much pain. Like I don't know if anything even came out of my mouth.
Well, it came out somewhere else though.
Probably
and-
blood.
And yeah, I was like, I'm bleeding for sure, and I'm gonna piss blood. Like everything's broken. That pain doesn't go away for a good 8 minutes, and it's the worst pain fucking imaginable. That was number one. Holy shit.
Damn.
Number two.
Hey Joe, put rubber chicken sound in there.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And number two is maybe a year after that or something like that. Again, sort of. These are the really memorable ones, and I think with that first one, I did go get an ultrasound the next day on my balls. And all I know is I've had like 5 to 7 old ball ultrasounds.
Its own kind of pain.
And this comes because I'm still in pain, and it's like I can't. When you get that pain, you can't like make an A shape with your legs as well.
No. Yeah, it's an all-encompassing.
It's all bad. That's all it is. So next one, soccer practice with girls, and a girl, because I also wasn't a pussy then either, believe it or not. I ran full speed at someone trying to launch the ball across the field, because sometimes they fake you out, you know. So I'll show them who's boss. If I sprint straight at them, they're gonna get nervous and fuck it up.
Yep.
No, twice actually in my life, but this has happened where they drill me straight in the balls.
Unfortunately, there's a certain distance you can be at where the ball can only hit your nuts. Like it's
straight. Think about the angle, the foot physics.
It's like it's right
straight
there.
in the balls by a girl who's trying to launch across the.
She's trying to put it like across.
She's trying
the
to
whole
put it
field.
completely across the whole field.
Yeah,
and
your nuts
straight
got in the way
in the
about
balls.
1 or 2 feet into it.
I went down. They had to carry me off. And that one, I went home, and I remember my mom taking me, and the pain wouldn't go away at that point.
Damn, yeah.
And I was
they're
like,
probably all bruised up and
something.
fucked up.
Well, like a hose is disconnected, or something's really, really wrong. So my mom had me talk to her work partner, who was a guy, and I had to explain to him what's going on. And then
Dr.
my grandpa,
Diddlesticks.
then my grandpa
I
got
can
on
work
the
off
phone.
the clock.
Yeah, my grandpa got on the phone and talked to me, and then we all decided I should go to the ER.
Yeah.
And so I did. So guess who I see again? The same ultrasound guy.
He's like, this old guy. You and your balls.
Yep. So then the next one.
You know, unfortunately, at least it's a guy. In a situation like that, it'd be like, well, you want to see a guy touching your balls? It's like, yeah, if I get drilled in the balls, I don't want a lady to be like, oh, okay. I want to be like, hey guy, you know how it is. Treat me like a man. Help me out, dude.
One of the more recent ones in my early 20s, I asked for the girl's number who ultrasound my balls. We're the same age.
This
I was
guy
like
is
20
out
or
of
21.
control, dude.
So we
I
should
wish
get
I
a
had the
drink
level of confidence
something.
that you have. I mean, I would say that there is a level where it moves into delusion, but I wish I had that delusion.
No, I remember her dad owned an auto body shop in Peabody or something, and we were talking, and I was working
Nuts
at
and
HMS.
bolts work.
I was working at HMS at the time. Perfect opportunity to ask a girl to go out sometime.
She's
and
already
she
seen your balls.
had a boyfriend. Yeah, I thought it was, why not at that point?
No, I love it about you, man. I'm just jealous. That's the only reason why I'm talking shit.
Thanks. Just give it a shot.
I'm genuinely
I could never do
impressed
that.
by that. Yeah.
That was so. All right. So the next one was the exact same story as the one before, except I was in high school playing high school soccer. Decided not to be a bitch and sprint at a male defender who's a fucking man at this point, who actually can launch a ball across the fucking field. And my girlfriend from pre-K, kindergarten, first grade, and second grade was there because it was her high school. So who also played soccer. So I wanted to. I had a lot.
All his
to prove.
injuries have to do with trying to impress girls.
Oh yeah, I had a lot to prove. So I sprinted at this guy, and sure enough, what happens? Straight in the fucking balls. And this guy's a adult. He's like a male high school kid, man. And that was a almost the lights went out. I got hit so fucking hard.
Yeah,
and they
I'm
had
surprised you could still
and
even be conscious of that.
Ref and maybe a coach or both refs or a ref and my friend's mom had to carry me off the field.
Yeah. That's nuts. I didn't even mean to say that. That's wild.
Had to carry me off the field because I got hit in the nuts so hard in front of my ex-girlfriend from kindergarten who I wanted to talk to.
It hurts even more when your
everyone
ego
else
gets hit that hard.
Yeah, and I don't know if I got an ultrasound from that one because at that point I already know what's
like
going on.
it's a mess down there. That happened to Bube in the playoff game at Hudson Catholic. He did the same thing you did. Ran up, got drilled. We had to carry him off the field, and he was like,
I
I
was there for
under
that.
the lights, all the parents are there, but his ex-girlfriend was there.
No, she wasn't. And then, so that's the most memorable ones that were
Dylan
absolutely
already had that happen. He's like, I'm gonna do it again against a man. That's probably be just as fine. Boom.
brutal.
No fear.
But
It's not going to happen twice.
Yeah, and then so
You don't wear a cup in soccer, and you probably
I've had
should.
my.
for a game like
You
this.
just can't. It doesn't work. I've had my nuts ultrasound a bunch more after that, and I saw that guy one more time.
He's like, hey,
I saw him as like an 8-year-old and as like a
Does
22.
he even ultrasound Women's
has like a
uteruses
20
or is
and
all
like
just nuts?
just all balls, and like a 22.
I specialize in balls, but I ultrasound anything.
Yeah, and this guy, he looked like someone at South Park with the square glasses, wicked creepy. Just like the thing, they just have you put your, they put the when they do it, they roll up a towel and then they
put the
you
jelly.
pick up your balls over the towel,
Nice.
so they get the full.
That's good. They don't make you do it. You just go
exposure.
like this the whole time.
Pretty much, yeah. And then I think you put your
at it,
wiener
Chief.
up and off to the side or something. They put a towel over that, so basically you're only seeing the balls through the towels.
It's finished, and you just
Don't worry, I'm only looking at your balls,
balls.
not your beautiful thighs, your ass, your penis. I'm
exactly.
just professional. Just
Yeah.
the balls, please.
No, so what does your dad do for work? So you live in Peabody? Your dad's a mechanic? That's cool. I work with cars too. Maybe we should talk sometime. Cute girl. I don't remember her face,
Oh
but
my god.
very cute.
I don't remember her
And,
face. I remember her hands only.
Yeah, it's like, so you do this much? Is this
Pretty rare, but when I do, I'm happy that people try
But
to
when I
pick me
do,
up
it's
while I'm
usually
doing
you.
it. yeah. You know, I don't always like to also have people's
I got a
balls when I do.
secret.
I like them to hit on me during it when we both can't leave.
Hey, I got a secret. I didn't actually get hit in the nuts. I just wanted to ask you how your balls are out.
Oh my god, so charming. Here's my number.
Wow, what a story.
What a
you could have said you just got kicked in the
You're
stomach.
so
and I would
bold.
wouldn't have to pull your balls out. Yeah, it's the jelly and the whole thing, and yeah, that was
Oh man.
yeah. I wonder if
Jelly
she's
and
still...
the whole thing. That's for
All
damn
I can
sure.
say is that I hope she still fucking talks about this.
I hope so too. The guy tried to pick me up while I was jellying his balls at work.
Yeah. I don't know. You know, I do still get hit in the nuts from time to time, including.
This is a man who's confident in his dick size, by the way. You don't have the acorn being like, "Hey, I'm gonna get some dinner."
Just a fucking acorn gnat.
Yeah.
Hey, you with said your dad's a mechanic.
This could
If
be
I was her, I'd be like, "Actually, I should get dinner because where's your confidence coming from? It's not coming from whatever." I'm
you
working
ever
with here.
get sushi at this place in Washington Street in Salem?
Well, California roll I'm working with down
California.
here. It smells
Great
like
time.
fish.
Yeah, and like, no, sir, your penis is the top of an acorn hat. Hard. Okay, we're gonna be.
It's that kind of podcast.
Sorry. Yeah. No thanks. But no, I was thinking maybe. I don't know. Where things in my life could go at any time.
I like
Maybe-
how Dylan's like, it turns out she had a boyfriend. Otherwise, she would have said yes. That's her
Yeah, I
line
mean,
for
that's
when
what
guys
she's
try to
told.
hit on her with their balls in her hand.
That's what the girl at J. Crew said to me, and that's what this girl said to me too. And
No,
maybe-
I mean, some of them probably do have a boyfriend, but that's also the number one girl line for like, I don't want to date you, but I'm not going to say no because you're the kind of guy who asks for a date with an ultrasound on your balls. You're not going to take no for an answer, obviously.
Yeah, well,
Why would
maybe-
you?
maybe I should have waited outside till she got off of work.
Yeah, that's
And asked her if she was rethinking what I said to her.
the
Just
second
working
time.
on her car. Oh, your license plate's a little loose.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe. No, but I was saying maybe.
You're like
you know,
548 JK7. I'll never forget it. I'll never
The
forget the
second
license
time,
plate
the
number
second
ever.
time you're in there getting your balls checked, you're just like, white Sebring, right?
Registered to Hannah, Montana of Peabody. I know that
Exactly.
one. I can't
Well, what I
forget
was what I was saying is, this does tend to be a trend for me to end up back in the ball ultrasound room.
it. The Baltrasound.
Ball ultrasound. Maybe. I don't know where my life's gonna go in the next couple of years. Who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe,
Hopefully, we'll get hit in the balls again.
maybe
Maybe
I'll
on a
get
date
hit in the
with-
balls again, and she'll be there. And maybe
That would
she'll be
serendipity.
divorced or something.
This time, she
And,
clearly can't say no because fate has brought us together
like,
again.
fate has brought us together. I'm back in the Peabody,
By hook or by
Atreus, Leahy, Beth Israel, urgent care, Peabody, ultrasound, getting my balls checked again room. And don't forget, just when you're getting them done. I mean, since you clearly have not had this
I've
happen,
never had my balls done.
they measure them through the ultrasound, so they click in this, and they're like, "Oh, this
Do
this
you ever
one's."
wink when she's done, being like, "You ever see that before?" For
They're like, "Oh, this one's 13 millimeters wide, and your right one's 12," and like they say how tall it is, and like they give you all the dimensions, so she knows.
That's nice.
Yeah,
She knows what you're working with there.
yeah, she sees how much pee's inside of them. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
How much peas in your balls?
There's peas in my balls. Yeah, where peas come. That's where pee
That's
comes
where pee
from.
comes from, Dom. I don't know if
Dom.
you know that.
And,
You've never been in an emergency room, so you probably don't know.
Yeah, but I was saying, maybe, there's a good chance that I'll be back in there. I mean, I got hit in the nuts like a couple days ago, really fucking
I was gonna
hard.
say my nut shots have dropped off drastically ever since I turned like 20 years old. Like they're going straight downhill. I mean,
No, two ones. I get hit. My sister's dog fucking kicks me in the nuts every time I see it. And
all right,
then
you got to
see
wrap
her.
it up. You're on about 20
Yeah,
minutes. Of
I know.
ball
And then
hits.
sometimes I'm
I'd love
tired.
to hear about your balls for another 20, but we got a podcast.
Okay,
to do.
I know, but sometimes I'm tired in the morning and I drop my toothbrush or my comb, and while it's falling, I try to grab it and I smack myself in the balls. Because it falls down. Think about it. Toothbrush falls from your mouth.
Oh
like
yeah,
this.
I get it. Yeah,
It goes
Why
straight
catch
down.
it up, catch it
and
down.
by the time you reach it,
Yeah.
it's about the time gravity 9.8 meters a second. Think about the fall rate of your toothbrush.
Yeah, the cosmological constant.
You can hit your balls by the time your brain catches the toothbrush falling and you
That's
hitting
just
yourself in the
science
nuts.
right there. Yeah, right.
Can
to the
happen.
nuts.
Yep, can definitely
makes
happen.
sense,
So,
man.
anyways, yeah, that's
That is how I learned to when dogs are on the couch to cover my balls because I did.
they
get a lot of
jump up
balls
and
stepped
land
on.
with
They
all
don't
4
care.
feet on your balls. Yeah,
Yeah, they have no fear about that. I never stepped on a dog's balls, but all of a sudden it's my fault if they step on mine. I mean, come on, pal, we don't. Yeah. Dom, you don't have to have a ball-related injury, but we would like to hear your next injury.
Mine is not ball related, but this is my first workplace injury.
Okay.
Or I'm heavy equipment mechanic. Work on plate compactors.
So your vagina got fucking slammed by a excavator because you're such a man.
Plate compactor.
You only work on plate compactors. You giant
I'm
pussy?
just talking about
Fucking
one.
how's
He
your
works on
vagina doing?
paint compactors.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
Dylan. I talk
exactly.
for 20 minutes, and as soon as someone else has to talk, I interrupt them.
What?
I'm kidding.
It's not true.
Well,
It's impossible.
So I was rebuilding this plate compactor. It's got these big weights inside that are offset. That way, when they're spinning around, it shakes and pounds the ground. But you got to time them so they go it the right way. But you also got to put oil on them so they're ready to go and stuff. And when you're timing them, they're
Dude,
not
you guys,
just
I'm
bolt
so
flat
sexually
like this.
frustrated right now with this conversation.
You got to turn them to time them. So they're one's on the bottom, one's halfway up. I got it all timed up, good to go. I'm like, I want to check it just one more time. So I moved the weights.
Better be
Next
sure.
thing you know, oily hands, slips out of my hand. The two weights, which are each about 20 pounds. Bam! Right on my nail in my middle finger.
God, that split nail and it just
No.
goes all the way to the core.
And their sharp edges too. Hit it. Luckily, it hit with enough force that it bounced back, and I was able to get my hand out of there.
Before round 2 comes
Before
back.
it hit again.
Well, man.
Oh, that
It was
sucks.
one of those things where you go into shock, and all of a sudden you just start
Oh, did you go into?
sweating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the
It's
cold
like,
sweat.
Yep.
I take my. It's the middle of winter. I take my sweatshirt off and a t-shirt. I just walk over to my coworker. And he's like, "Oh, you look like shit." And he looks down. I'm just holding my hand, and it's just bleeding. And you can see like near the nail bed is actually lower than the rest of my nail.
Just
But it's from the
pushed in.
the chimp
From
with
the weight, just-
with the symbols from that movie Smash.
yeah.
Yeah.
Your head. That's from that which is so it's like it's split open by just that fucking force is insane.
man.
What the fuck?
So I just like held my
One
hand.
of
we
them
walked
would have
over
been
the sink.
bad, but the two coming together. At
Yeah.
Fuck.
He like washed my hand. Did a terrible job wrapping it up. I had a gauze pad like this big around my finger.
Yeah, nice.
And he was like, just take some ibuprofen. Just sit down for, like 20 minutes. About 2 minutes into sitting down, the adrenaline wore off. So now I can, feel the
Feel
pain.
it. Yeah.
And now I'm not hot anymore. So I'm in a t-shirt. I'm shivering. My hand hurts too much to put a sweatshirt on.
He said he was in shock.
no.
Damn.
Give him a
And-
blanket.
Yeah, it cleared up enough. We got it wrapped up much better. And about 2 weeks of me having to do everything with my middle finger out because it would hurt. I couldn't even bend it without it hurting.
Dude, this guy's a rebel for life. He's just like, what up, dude? Fuck the world.
Yeah.
And it did
Damn.
take about probably almost 2 months for the nail to finally, the back part
hate
to
when-
grow
I
enough for
I
the
hate
nail
when
to
nails
fall
fall
off.
off.
Oh, yeah, you got to fall
And,
off at that point, right?
Yeah. That one was rough. I have a picture of it still where it's just
Fuck the hell.
lower than one part of my nail was up higher than the other part of the nail.
Jesus.
Awful.
Oh my god. I thought you were
of
gonna
course-
say. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
And of course, my boss was like, "What the fuck happened? What'd you do?" And I was like, "My mom told me to do this."
Mom's fault.
That's not my fault, dude. My mom made me get this job. Therefore, yeah, no, that's the worst. The smashing of iron plates. I mean, come on.
And I still have to work on these things. I've done it a million times since then and not gotten my finger caught.
You know.
But every single time, I'm like, oh, okay, we're just really careful now.
There goes another time.
Fuck. I thought you were gonna say if you don't like time the fucking thing right, then fucking trap door opens and that fucking monkey with the no, not different monkey. The monkey with the punching glove comes out and just punches you straight in the balls. If I don't time this machine right, this will happen.
It's like a Jack in the Box.
Yeah, exactly. Just the punching glove from Wallace and Gromit just comes out and punches you right in the nuts every time. Exactly. Every time you don't time it right, it's like it'll fucking it'll punch me in the nuts every time I don't time it right.
Goddamn
penalty for being a bad employee,
you know, in some kind of way. Holy crap, that shit's awesome. I'll tell my last tale
Dom,
here.
that fucking sucks.
I have one more. Do you want me to say it now?
No, I want to tell mine, and then you and Dylan both have one more because that's
I
my
got
last
one.
one. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna talk again after this part. Well, I'm gonna.
Thank
talk
God.
Lot, I want the story to tell.
Finally.
Real quick, my first starter. I told this on the podcast before, but is about kindergarten. I think it's first grade, about 6 years old. To start taking karate classes. The two neighbor kids come over to my house, and they're brothers, and I was talking about. I'm like, I know karate, and they're like, oh yeah, and they grab me by the shoulders and then knee me in the balls as hard as they can and ran home. I came inside. I was like, "Oh, Mom! He kneed me in the balls." She was like, "Right over there, right
no
now."
karate just hurt me.
We walked right over there. They had to come out and they had to apologize. They were crying. I was crying. It was a whole ordeal. But I love the move where it's like, oh yeah, both shoulders, knees straight into my fucking gooch, just wham! And I was like, oh. That was the first time I was hitting the balls.
Where did you learn that? So sick.
My dad taught me.
I want to take karate now.
Good lord, man. Oh, hell.
Oh, fuck.
I was on the ground for like a couple minutes, and I was like, I can't wait till I can walk inside and tattle on these guys.
Tattle.
This is the exact same thing. I told you when I got
ultrasound.
No, there was like
the guy with the glasses. It's exactly like when I was on the train. I told you a story, and I was like 4, and this kid on the train, I was on train to Florida, so over my train. Hey, you want to play a game?
Train to Florida. We've all been there.
Get all your mom and dad's change and put it on the fucking table, and I'll play this cool game. I brought out like a whole table length of change. Yeah. Fucking puts it in his bag and leaves. It's the same fucking game, dude.
That's like a cool game.
I'm innocent. I'm a piece of shit.
He's like, I won. Yeah, I won. Just starts putting it to his fucking like Stop and Shop bag, and I was like, what the fuck? And I brought it back. It's like, Mom, Dad, like this fucking kid just.
All I can see is that about like bad parents.
What he won the game.
I'm not stupid, but
he didn't
his
win.
game is take advantage of people. Fuck your dad or your mom ever taught you
rob
that
your
game.
parents. Fucking yeah. It's like, oh,
what a shithead.
Cool. Same thing with you. I know karate. Fucking nails you in the nuts.
Good move, man.
It's fucking great.
Sick move. It works every time.
And the shoulders too. The fucking shoulders.
Yeah, he grabbed me by the shoulder. I just remember he put the hands on the shoulders. I was like, "What's going to happen now?" And he's like, "You're not going to throw you." It's just going to. All right, enough of that one. That's not my story, but so yeah, this
that's a great story. That was fucking phenomenal.
Well, all the nutshot stories, I was like, yeah,
so funny every time. Yeah.
All my other nutshot stories were by accident. Luckily, that was the only one that was deliberately like, I'm here to harm you.
They're all good.
Let's play the give
every
your mom,
nutshot is funny.
Get all your mom's credit cards and put it on the table.
I got a fun game. Go get your social security card.
It's called You Don't Know What's Happening and I'm a Predator.
Go get all your parents' jewelry, put it on the fucking table, and we're gonna play a sick game with it.
It's gonna be awesome.
I won.
I promise you, one of us.
No, nothing at all. No talking. Just thank you. I won.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, my last story here tonight is one you guys have heard a million times.
Same fucking kid who did it to you.
Same kid. We're older now.
He's got karate and cool games.
This was a cool game. Oh, hang on. So this one happens a lot later. This is probably I must be 19 years old. Actually, I think I was 18. No, I was 18 at the time. I just turned 18 like a month or two before. I was at college. I was there really spreading my wings by drinking to an amount where it was one of the times in my life where I was like, oh yeah, you can just, no one's going to stop you from being an idiot. You have to stop yourself. Like, my mom was so good at stopping me from being an idiot that as soon as she stopped that from happening, I was like, oh yeah, I can get away with this. Yeah, no, you can't. Life will get there, but like it'll be too late at that point.
But you can always blame her, like Dom.
Well, I don't blame her.
Yeah.
I blame myself. And also, I didn't tell her this story or many others until well after, because I was well aware the whole time that like I'm being paid to go here, so I shouldn't be like, hey, you'll never understand the story. It's so crazy, dude. It's awesome. So this is during my first 2 months of college where I was drinking excessively. We had, you guys might have heard this story before, we bought these shot glasses at the student store, which is funny that they sell it next to like the sweaters and the books. They sell like these giant shot glasses that had the levels to them. It's a double shot glass. It's like a graduated cylinder. It had freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. That's how far you pour the liquor. And then, of course, alumni, which is the full thing. And, of course, I mean, you're 18 years old. You're going alumni every time, which is probably about 2.5 shots. So we're doing those.
Going Bill Cosby.
Yeah, full Bill Cosby with it.
He was an alumni.
We're doing shots of 151, which is also much stronger than even whiskey or rum. It's an insane amount of too much drinking. So we're doing that probably about, I don't know, 2 hours maybe. Not enough to ruin the whole night, but now let's go out, let's go do stuff. And I don't remember a whole lot of things about this night for good reason, but I remember this part of the story, which is where the fun comes in. So we're walking around, a group of us. A couple of kids are visiting, so we're all hanging out, meeting each other. And this story is described to me. I am consciously walking with them. I mean, not consciously, unconsciously walking like a zombie. I'm following them around. I'm saying probably words, doing things. All this part's out of my mind. I remember just walking around. They described this story to me. We are walking from one part of campus to another. We're going down a grassy hill to a parking lot. So it's going to go down a gradual hill, and it's going to level out flat as a parking lot. And they describe the story to me as they're walking down the hill. I'm walking with them. And what they say is where I got to the bottom of the hill, it looked like there was a magnet in my chest and in the ground. Because my body went straight down at an increased speed. And so I don't remember this happening. This is just, I was told this in a later time. I went straight to the ground. And the reason why I know it's true is because I had my chin was busted open, and I had scrapes on both of my hands, which means my drunk mind
makes sense.
Wait. All right, now. And I put my hands out at the last second, so I caught myself just before. It's like that reflex where you're going to catch yourself right just before, but not quick enough to stop it, but quick enough so I only got the chin and then my hands. So I remember going back to the dorm, and I could feel that my chin was like bleeding and it was a little scraped up. But the real thing is that I had a gash in my right palm and my left palm for where my hands had been put down on that thing. And they brought me back after that, and they're like, oh shit, your hands are all fucked up. They brought me to the bathroom of the dorm, cleanest place in the Seven Kingdoms, obviously. And we didn't have a lot of first aid supplies, so we took duct tape and toilet paper from the stalls. They wrapped the toilet paper around my hand, and then they duct taped it around, and then you go to bed. I slept on the floor in their dorm like this, probably, with my little toilet paper.
Duct tape, toilet paper, Jesus on the fucking floor. Of, that's great.
I woke up the next morning, and obviously my hand was hurting a lot. I didn't even realize my chin had a cut on it because my hand hurt so bad. I'm like, damn, I scraped my hands. I looked down, I was like, oh, yeah. I remember them taping my hands. Don't remember falling. And now I'm interviewing people, be like, yo, what happened? They're like, oh, man, you fucking ate shit. You walked down the hill. You're a fucking idiot, this and that. And so I obviously take out the duct tape and the toilet paper, and you're looking at my hands, and they're cut open beyond the skin, and there's still pieces of gravel in it. And I was like, okay. So now I'm washing
when it's already starting to heal, when you're trying to get that out.
I'm washing it out. I'm pulling the gravel out, and I'm like, oh, it hurts so fucking bad. And the chin I'm not even worried about. I'm like, I need to get a Band-Aid or something. So we go to, like, I don't know, someone's room or something. Because I didn't go to, like, any, like, hospital situation. I was like, I need a Band-Aid because I can't do the toilet paper thing again. I have a football game to go to in a couple hours. We need to do some shit. So I get some Band-Aid, put it on the thing. My chin's still fucked up, but the hands is really the gash. And we're walking down to the football stadium. I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm not going to let last night ruin my good time. We got a fucking football game to go to. And as we're walking in there, I go, oh, my hand hurts really bad, but I don't want to be a bitch and say it hurts because I just scraped it. Like, it's just a scrape. Like, and it's your fault anyway, so just shut up. And as we're going in there, I start feeling this, like, pulsating in my hand. It almost feels like when you get a really bad headache and you can tell every time like your blood goes through it and you're like, oh, they call it a pounding headache. I had a pounding headache in my hand and I'm like, this is really weird. My hand usually doesn't hurt like that. It's strange. It hurts really bad. And we're getting to the game and it's hurting more and more and more. And I'm like, I'm basically distracted by how much my hand hurts. I'm like, I'm not enjoying this that much. It's just hurting so bad. It's so much more than a scrape. What's going on here? And I'm with my friend and he's like, what's going on with you? You feel like you're hurting? I'm like, yeah, man. I don't know. My hand's like pulsing. It hurts so bad. And he's like, let me take a look at you. And he looks at my arm, and I have a red line going all the way up my arm. And he goes,
"Oh shit!"
He goes, all right, well we're going to the hospital right now. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, you're infected. We got to go right now. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, you're fucked. And we go up to he walked. That's such a nice guy. He left the football game, walks me all the way up there, drops me off there. And he's like, have fun. Give me a call if you need anything. I'm leaving. And when I got in there, they're like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, what? They're like, you're infected all the way up your arm. I'm like, why didn't you come here already? I was like, I fell.
Like I
didn't think it was that bad. I fell down. So yeah, they had me in the chair. They took like basically the equivalent of like Lysol wipes, and they're like scraping my hands out, scraping away. And I was like, oh, this hurts like a bitch. And then they put me on an IV. And this is like, in the college like nurse's office basically. I didn't know they even had all this shit here. And I'm in there fucking sitting around doing this whole thing. And after like about like 3-4 hours, I finally got to leave, and they put me on like this antibiotic medication. They're like, yeah, do not do anything, just go home. But that came from many beer tumbles from them, but never so bad that I had a blood infection. So that got me good. And after that, I only had to get drunk a couple more times before I figured out to stop doing that, including getting arrested. That really put it over the edge. The infection didn't help. The black eye didn't help, but the arrested, I was like, all right, you got to get your shit together here. Yeah. So there we go. Took a tumble. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? That's wild. So yeah, mine. My final story, and again, I'll think of 400 other ones that are great. But this is I got a lot of cuts, a lot of stitches. Those are all just kind of just gory and gross, and just dumb. All of them were stupid. Including drilling into a piece of sheet metal that's the size of a fucking baseball hat without it clamped down, and it's spinning.
Oh god. Oh.
That went into one of my thumbs and hit the bone, and that was cool. And I knew it would happen too. And I still was like, it's probably going to happen, but it's probably not.
It might
that was
not,
stupid. Though. Yeah, and most recently hitting my hand as hard as I could with the back of a handheld axe. We all heard that story. Love that.
Yep.
So, but my final one is, my brother always got the cool gifts, and I got
his gifts from the year before,
pretty much. Or well, actually, no, I didn't even need that because he never uses anything anyone gives him.
After.
Which coins the term as I'm a self-appointed Indian giver of my family. I do it with everyone. I see my shit. You don't use it. I buy it from you. You guys included. I'm taking it back.
Yeah.
Fucking taking it back. I put a lot of thought into that stuff, and it's good shit. It's fucking good stuff. So
for you, it's good, obviously, because you like it so much. You actually get it back.
Yeah, I'll fucking take it back in a heartbeat. I'll buy it back. Whatever. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so, my brother gets the fucking go-kart, that almost killed me. And then still have the problems from that back pain from today, go-off jumps.
Was mind-blowing, of course, as a child, to not only see that Dylan and Mark had a go-kart, it was a 2-seater, like a bench seat go-kart. It was mind-blowing.
Very fun.
And you had the front woods area, but you did not have the requisite land for a go-kart of that size, I don't think. I think that now, as you're older, you would know... It'd be good to have like a farm to really let that thing loose.
Yeah,
you guys made do with it, but it wasn't like the space you would want to have for a go-kart that was that big, and that powerful.
All the stories I heard about you guys doing stuff in like middle school, when I finally saw the house, I was like,
how small the area is.
Where did you do this?
It was like right there.
It's all there. Yeah. All fucking there. Yeah. And, yeah, crazy. But, yeah, so my brother gets the grind. We were all skateboarding, and he fucking sucked, couldn't do shit. I also sucked, but wasn't as bad and had way bigger balls. Yes. So
Yeah, because they keep swelling up.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, it's just getting hit in the head and hitting the balls too much. Eventually, started doing.
That's why you have a
things.
big ego and too much confidence. You get smacked in the head and the balls so many times.
So many times.
Fucking basketball.
Can't get stopped. Yeah, it makes sense now. It's all lining up.
It served you well, my friend.
So
It's only
lining
jealousy
up.
that I'm saying this.
It's all lining up. So grind rail, he's not ever gonna fucking use it. And it was 3 days after his birthday. He got it for his birthday. He never fucking touched the thing.
Damn.
So I'm using this thing on my The Firm board, which was Bob Burnquist's brand.
Sick.
Such a sick board, and from CCS, and yeah, I'm getting good. Just basically just alling up on it and grinding by myself in the yard, like off the skate up, and then it was on the grass, and then doing board slides, whatever. Then all of a sudden, it was August 8th or 16th or 15th or 5th, somewhere around there, and all of a sudden, again, memory serves me weird because I might have hit my head too, so there was a little bit of a blackout moment, possibly.
Let's just assume
We don't-
you did.
We don't know. All I remember, all I know is that my eyes are closed and it feels like my arm is in a clamp, like it's in a table vise. It's in a vise, like clamped down really, really hard. There's a lot of pressure, and I was like, wow, what the fuck? There must be the rail must have my arm must be like under something or whatever. I open my eyes and look, my arm is the shape of a fucking A. Like, and
It's a cute.
like a triangle, like from my elbow to my fingers is a triangle. Like if I held my arm out straight, my fingers were down under the middle of my arm, and I was like, oh. And like again, there's no thinking at this point.
No,
And I'm
you're
also
still in
not
a state of emergency.
I'm also not in pain either because I'm
Shock.
just like Dom went into shock immediately, and my mom's not home. My cousin Debbie's home, and
I don't remember this wrinkle of the story.
babysitting us. So
She must have loved that revelation.
I have run into the house multiple times screaming I broke things, and this turned out to be the only legit
The boy
one.
who cried broken bone.
The boy who cried broken bones
This one's
comes
hard to argue with when it's
fucking
dangling.
flying in through the door. Mark, my brother, was somewhere, and he was like, shut up, you fucking, whatever. Then he saw it, and he's like, oh, shit.
Like, no, you weren't lying this time.
Yeah, and then I went. The first thing I did is I'm panicking. I'm not making any clears. I went into the guest bathroom, which is pretty small, and put it under the sink.
Gonna watch it.
Water fixes everything.
I wish my friends at college would have thought of that when I scraped my hands.
I had to do something, and I put it. My bones aren't sticking out, by the way. They're just like fucking.
Yeah, they want you though. Yeah,
They
they're, like,
wanted
right up against
so
the edge.
bad. All I had to do was just put a piece of paper on it. It would have poked through. Like they were ready to go, and like a really just like put it when you like kill someone with a fucking market basket bag over the head. That's
Yeah,
what. My,
it goes through like
yeah,
the eyes. And
yeah, exactly. That's my fucking bones right there. So.
There's micrograms between them and the outside world, and they're ready to leave.
Yeah, exactly. And then somehow I end up in my mom's couch on
Micromillimeter,
that floor, and I'm now unconscious as always. I'm not sure what's
Out
and,
again.
but
Your
my
body
cousin
just
Debbie,
knows, like, just put him out. Someone will take care of him, hopefully.
He's
Yeah.
gonna do more harm if he keeps walking around.
yeah,
he's
my
gonna
cousin
keep-
Debbie. Yeah, right. He's this is just
It's
put
like
him
a
out.
medically induced coma, so you won't keep washing your
Yeah.
broken arm.
Yeah, right. So then my cousin Debbie, like we're like, get out of the fucking shower. There's a fucking, my brother's like, you need to get out. There's a big pepper. She comes out of a towel and she's like, holy jeez, what the? Everyone's
She's
looking
in
at
the
me like,
shower. That's even
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah, and I'm like not well, and then they put me in bed and put my mom, if you know her,
Yeah.
we didn't have ice packs. What the fuck was that?
Why would you have that?
There's no ice packs in this house. There's no ice. There's no anything. There's frozen vegetables
Yeah, you
that
need
no one
peas.
ate.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Peas
that's
coming out.
no one's ever gonna eat. They've never been fucking. There's no plan of eating them. Yeah, that's the time for those, and they put them all over my arm, and then call 911, and the fucking fire department comes, and
Yeah, that is probably a time where you don't just drive you there because you're going to get
yeah.
worse.
Oh, how do you move this kid? You know, like without killing him. So yeah, the fire department comes, and they're all like,
Your bones
they
are
all,
you're just carving around in all your insides.
Yeah, making it worse.
horrible.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And the fire department's all like opening up the fucking piece, and they're like, "Whoa, shit." They're like, "Hey, come in here!" Like, bring their friends in to come look at it.
It was a good one.
Yeah, literally, that's exactly what they're doing. And because I'm coming,
He didn't just crack this thing. This thing's apart.
yeah, we fucking really fucked it up. And then I went. Then they put me in the ambulance and gave me morphine. And it actually gave me more. Yeah, gave a fucking 10-year-old morphine.
That's how you know it's the real shit.
Yeah. I was probably 11 maybe, and they gave me morphine, and then I was in no pain at all, happy as a fucking clam. This is where I'm now back online because I'm out of shock or whatever.
Yeah,
and I'm just on a lot of morphine.
You're just like, can you give me more of that?
Oh no, I was
Did you go to Marlboro Hospital?
Yeah,
You
Marlboro
must have,
Hospital.
right? Yeah, it's that close.
I was on a ton of morphine, not a damn bit of pain, and so much so that I had to wait for an X-ray. So they wheeled me out of the fucking ER room, and then I remember waiting outside the X-ray room for a while before they fixed it, because they had to do an X-ray first. And people are walking by, and they're all like, "What the fuck happened to you?" I'm like, "You wouldn't believe it, you know? Broke my arm skateboarding. Check it out." And everyone's like,
hit
just
that fucking bar,
absolutely terrified that they didn't like cover this thing so people don't throw up.
Yeah, they're throwing up walking by it.
Yeah, literally, like just like this. I can picture just absolutely fucking most fucked up looking arm you've ever seen in your life. And then I got an X-ray, and then they put me under and did some sort of fucking thing. And then the next day was the
Did
worst.
they put
pain I've ever had
screws
in
in
my
it and
life.
stuff, or you're so young, you're like, it'll fucking heal. I feel like a break that big, you have to put something there to like keep it so it doesn't move. They just
I don't understand because you'd think the muscles would pull it like.
Yeah, I feel like today
in a
if you
weird
broke
way
it like that, they'd be like, we're gonna put you
wrapped
in like
it the
RoboCop.
fuck. Yeah, right. They wrapped it the fuck up.
Yeah.
So I couldn't have a cast because the swelling was so bad. The first, they
right.
But they just put a ton of. They reset it with like this. They hang your arm over something and then put like weights and then pull it all down, straighten out,
man.
and then they move the bones around all through this, and then they make it really really tight. But the next day, I had same thing. I was on drugs for like at least.
You had
a
to
week
be, otherwise you'd be like, just screaming
Yeah.
the entire night.
No, but when
until
the
your
drugs
voice
wore
went hoarse
off,
and you passed out by.
They told me as the swelling goes down, the cast is going to get bigger and your bones are going to start moving around, and that fucking hurt like a motherfucker.
It must. That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, and then it just was. Then eventually, after like a week of like this like paper, like a regular cast, they put me in a real cast.
Yeah,
and I had to like just had no shower for like that was since it was such a bad break. I was in the cast all summer.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, and into whatever grade I was going into because I broke it in August and I was in the cast.
Yeah,
like
no,
October.
you had the cast in school. Yeah, so you still had
people
that.
signed it in school.
Signed it. Yeah.
Fucking the man. All the ladies loved it.
They were like, hell yeah, dude. What happened?
like,
You were fucking the man?
I got this kicking ass.
They're like, oh, I skateboarded all summer, Fucking
Yeah,
broke my
sometimes
arm.
you just gotta roll with the punches, dude. You know, that's how it fucking goes.
Fucking sick tricks, board sliding, like on this rail. You wouldn't
I did
should've been
morphine
there.
this summer. I'm a man.
I did morphine. Hell yeah.
So cool.
Awesome.
So that's my top. Yeah, and I don't really have anything to top that. So I
That's
just
the
a full
best.
100,000 more concussions and
I'm just
stitches
happy you
and-
saved that for the end, so you didn't just
and
eclipse every
nut
story
and
after that.
nut kicks.
All right, well, I'm going to talk about my.
Sean, go ahead and pop
breaking the bone.
the goggle part off so I can see your eyes for this story because I want to see your expressions when you tell the story. All right,
Perfect.
thanks.
Yeah, that's good right there. Rainbow Six.
So this was the only time I broke a bone. 3 bones, to be exact.
Perfect.
I feel like I probably talked about it on the podcast before, but I don't
Doesn't
know. I can't
matter.
remember.
This is the podcast for.
Or it was like I don't fucking. It was 5th grade. It was 5th grade. My aunt picked me up. We're going to Galoni Park with her 3 kids.
Is that like the bullseye for like when you get them? You're strong enough to fuck yourself up and stupid enough to do it. Like that's like the most injuries.
It's
happen
got to
in, like,
be because that's where
Probably.
puberty is
Yeah.
like when you're
all
just
of
like,
my
I'm an
stories
idiot.
are. It's 5th grade is the one that you're
Yeah.
gonna get the fucking big dogs come in.
So we go. I'm like, all right, I'll bring my skateboard. I want to do this. Go play at the skate park.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, yeah. They were like playing in the sand or whatever, like nearby. But I had this bright idea.
Like a bunch of babies.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, what are they doing? They're not in 5th grade.
Yeah, I'd rather go skin my knees off at Galoni Skate Park.
Yeah, which is an asphalt.
You can't wear knee
I know.
pads.
It's not-
unless you're a
it's
I've
not-
bitch.
been there.
It's not like most skate parks where it's like cement.
Yeah,
It's,
like
this is
polished
asphalt.
cement
It's a
parking
parking
lot.
lot.
This is straight up. Yeah,
There's
grainy.
this one ramp there,
50
the
fucking
pyramid.
grit. Yeah.
It's wooden. So the edges of it get chipped up, so they put this metal flashing down so you can still ride it without just falling on your face trying to go up the
metal
ramp.
flashing there. That's
Nice. There
meat
you go.
slicer.
And they didn't do. I don't know if it was just they didn't do that good of a job, or it just was starting to wear out, or both.
Your mom
Probably
didn't
were
fucking
some-
see it first.
there were
and
some
told you
nails.
not to
Yeah,
do
There were
your
some
mom
nails that were
brought
starting-
you there.
My mom was not involved in this one at all.
Oh, okay. A little self-reflection.
This
time.
one, all me. This story right here.
Gotcha. Wow, he's growing. As the podcast
Some
is
of the
almost over, he
nails-
finally figured it out.
Some of the nails were starting to come back up out of the wood.
Oh, the
Oh
nails.
my god, dude! This
So I'm
fucking skate
going
park.
down this ramp. I hit one of the nails. And I go flying forward, and I put the thing you're not supposed to do. I put my hands out. My left hand. These three fingers, middle finger, ring finger, left finger, just go crunch, and I get up. We were there for about 5 minutes.
So it's okay.
Your cousins just showed up.
They drove me there. I got me for the same amount of time. I'm holding my wrist. I walk over to my aunt and I go, I fell. It really hurts. And she was like, oh, I think you just sprained your knuckles. I'll bring you home. My cousin just goes,
Trying to move your hand. You're like,
my cousin, she's like, all right, come on, get in the car. We got to bring Dom home. He goes, we just got here.
we can't leave now just because she's a bitch.
And these are younger cousins, too, by like 3-4 years.
Ruin
So,
it for everyone.
We just got
We go to
here.
the doctors. They do the x-rays.
hell?
It's broken. They have to give me a soft cast because, again, we didn't go to the actual hospital. We went to the pediatrician.
I
it's
don't
like-
believe you, dude. You were as close as Dylan, but you were
Pediatrician's
closer
the
than
big one.
Dylan to the emergency room. You're like, you get an appointment already? The doctor just wakes up, washes his mouth. Yeah, I can do some time in the office today.
You know, the pediatrician, the one with the fucking sliding doors and all the crackhead adults in it waiting
Yeah, the
around.
pediatrician.
Yeah, and people who smell like
This is
shit.
so- I had to interview your fucking parents about this.
We did
Pediatrician.
not. I mean, so honestly,
Pediatrician's just
honestly,
it's just the ER in Marlboro, and he thinks that's the...
No,
it's the pediatrician all the time.
Westboro. It was Fallon, the place I would go for my.
Why
my
was it in
physicals every
Westboro?
year.
You were like a 2-minute drive from Marlboro Hospital with broken hand. Oh my god.
I don't know because they didn't know it was broken at the time.
Yeah. There's something they didn't have insurance and they had a vet that they were like,
So
Yeah, exactly. Go to the
yeah,
vet.
they looked at it. They're like, "Yeah, it's probably broken." So they wrapped it up and then put me in a sling.
yeah.
I did get a cast the next day at the hospital, but it was an appointment. It was not the emergency room.
Oh, you're right, because he had time to schedule.
And it was a weird cast too, because it was like my pinky was completely covered. These 3 fingers, you could see like that much of it still, and it went just to my wrist. It was like a mitten.
Mitten. Mitten cast. Your fucking
Actually-
scout's honor for the entire
Actually,
time.
enough time went by between just having the soft cast and the actual cast that I was at school and got my sling signed.
Oh,
and
that's
the next
cute.
day I got the cast, and everyone was like, "What the hell? We just signed your sling. Now it's gone. We have to sign your cast now." I was like, "Yeah, do it again."
Sign it again.
Why didn't they
my
give you the
back
same
again.
fucking mini cast for when the fucking thing slammed you?
Because I didn't go to the doctor for
It's
that.
fucking kid again.
He
Same
has
cast.
One cast on his middle finger only comes down.
I'm just like, if it still
All
comes
day
down to my
long.
wrist.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that was 5th grade. That was probably about 2 or 3 months of having that. Again,
Great.
putting my hand in a newspaper bag and taping it up with duct tape to take
Yep.
a shower so it doesn't get
Yeah.
wet.
Yep.
When
The
they
fine
finally
things
cut
in
the
life.
cast off, they were like, "What were you doing?" Like they found like lead from a mechanical pencil in there. So I was just like
great.
fucking around at school.
All the other stuff.
Inside of-
But
they
the-
cut it off and just all this shit falls out.
Full Crayola 34 pack
Goldfish,
comes
yeah,
out.
exactly. 34 pack. Tinfoil balls. You're like,
But
I don't know.
the kicker to
lost.
the story is
There was
not,
100
not,
pennies
not,
in there.
not just all the change from your parents.
Yeah, all
I
my
won the
parents
game.
changed. And, yeah,
Hey, want to see a trick?
Joe's friends' karate instructions. Just
A
The,
black
the
belt
kicker to
came
the
out.
story, the kicker to the story is not the injury itself, but it's actually how it happened. Because I was not riding a skateboard at the time.
Oh, this guy knows how to podcast. He's like 2 years in now. He fucking knows how to tell
Yeah,
stuff.
okay.
You know, that's a pro move. You never said it. What he was on.
It was not a skateboard. I was living out a childhood's dream of wearing Heelys to the skate park.
Yes. The fucking Healy kid shoots nails.
So, the wheel of a Healy hit the nail.
It's not even a board.
This fucking asshole. We just got here. He's in his sneakers. We have to leave
So
already.
his Healy's running and then going on the heels.
Oh, man. That's some good shit, man. Oh, wow.
I didn't know you broke your fucking fingers on Heelys. That is so cool. That is so fucking funny.
You blame it on the flashing. You're fucking in sneakers and wheels in the
You're
back.
like, I'm just gonna go to
That
the
could
skate
happen
park.
on your way to school.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the skate park on Heelys and jump by myself and touch my heels with my palm and like do sick tricks.
Fucking
Fucking
Indy
so
nose bone on the top of the Galoni Park hat.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking Heelys on. You know they're tied loose as hell too. He's sliding those things on. He ain't tying them.
Exactly.
He
Fucking
ain't tying
tight,
those
dude.
things.
I didn't tie any of my shoes. So I always kept them loose enough I could slide in.
Loosen up to eat shit. That's fantastic.
We gotta go drink beer at a skate park and just fucking watch. 'Cause hopefully there's some
die.
dumb fucks like the three of us there still who are fucking 13
God, that's
eating
awesome.
absolute shit because they're trying to show like, yo dude, trust me. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go fucking
Check
bunny
this
hop
out.
over the middle quarter pipe flat thing and just fucking
so easy.
launch the bike, eat shit. So funny.
My ex-girlfriend from 4th grade's here. I gotta go all out with this. Let's see what I can do.
When we break up the Healy.
Commit.
It's gonna be sick. Yeah, or the kids. Well, back when I started going to, you saw them too, Dom, obviously. But at Galoni, when I was there was always a fucking Razor kid who was like not
Yeah.
good. They're like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna take it to the next level. Parents' driveway. We're gonna go to Galoni skate park right now
graduating.
with the razors, and we're gonna fucking go down, do all the sick shit.
Sick as shit can be done.
Yeah, no, it's
That's
never.
so
no
awesome.
one ever.
I
no one
actually thought
ever
he was
got
gonna
good.
say Razor, and I was gonna laugh, and then he said Heelys, and I lost my
and
fucking
that is
mind.
so much funnier than a razor.
Oh my god. Well, you guys, I think now I don't think we're gonna beat that story. I think it's time for final
No.
thoughts. Let's do final thoughts, boys. There you go.
Yeah, well, I went first, so final thoughts. I can't tell you how fucking great of an episode this was. And
Yeah.
the only thing I'm going to leave you guys with is I was in a neck brace 2 or 3 years ago, and I don't even know why, because it was the second time I've been in one. I don't even know. As an adult, you guys were there. I was on the
We're
podcast.
leaving room for future medical stories. That we should do another episode on Dylan.
No, that's
'cause Dylan
how
has like 100
fucked up-
more.
Yeah, that's how fucked up I've been. And even as an adult, I was in a neck brace in the past 2 years, and I don't have a fucking clue why. Anyways, back to you guys. That's my final thoughts. We'll get back to you on that.
My final thoughts are, yeah, you don't get, unless you're Dylan, you don't get hurt nearly as much when you're an adult.
That's right.
But even getting hurt as a kid, always a funnier story than when you're getting hurt as an adult.
Yeah, it's a lot more. You can bounce back easier, right?
Yeah.
A part of it's probably because you don't remember the pain as much. You can look back at it and laugh. I was not, actually, the Heelys thing, I think I was probably laughing the entire time. Like, a month later, I was like, yeah,
How dumb
fucking
it was.
Heelys, man.
Yeah.
But
You get it. You've been there, right, guys? Yeah.
Throw up gang signs, your fucking
Yeah.
mitten, your hard mitten.
everyone can laugh at injuries.
Just says
so it's
Jack
always
Rich,
funny.
like John Hancock on the fucking.
He took up the entire palm.
Still does. Well, my final thoughts, great episode, funny fucking stories. I mean, we all made it through. It's all good. But I have to just say, my point, I brought through the whole thing in my head, is that, like, in any other time, we would all be dead now. All those stories, in 1721, we'd all be dead.
I cut my arm off.
Yeah, it'd be over. I mean, you'd be
Well,
lucky if only your arm.
die of an
We'd
infection,
all
yeah.
be infected. It'd be it. It'd be over. So, like, the kind of shit you can go through and be like, "Oh, that was fucking crazy, right? We'd go to the hospital and all this." We'd all be dead kids. It's the fucking the fallacy when the plane comes back and all the holes are in the parts you don't think. It's like you wouldn't know when they came back. So, injuries, obviously worse as you're older, better when you're younger, but unabashedly hilarious stories. So, although when your grandma slips in the tub and breaks a hip, it's kind of funny because you just slipped in the tub. When she dies after, not that funny. So
Not so funny.
yeah, it's all about bouncing back here, and this podcast is all about taking hits and bouncing back. And I would not want to do it with anyone else besides you two fellas. So happy episode 106.
Same. Love
to
you guys. What a fucking funny fucking
Great
episode.
We love it. Dylan, you want to take us out of here?
Yeah, let's get out of here, guys. If you're a young person, and hi, Pat.
Hey, Matt's here, finally.
Hey,
You made
buddy.
the pod.
What's up? Yeah, you made the pod. He's going to take us out. Say something. Say something. No?
Try this
He's
at
not
home.
going to say anything. Yeah, keep wearing your heelys, guys. Skateboard. Have fun.
Shred that gnar, boys and girls.
Wear a helmet. Helmets definitely have prevented a lot worse of things for most. So that's it. See you guys next episode, 107. Do you get? It's like Timothy Treadwell with the Bears. You know, it's like there was one horse we always knew was a little fucking off.
And then, boom, Timmy got rocked.
Timmy got it
And
right.
now
in
he
the
can't spell anymore.
forehead because he thinks he's the fucking horse whisperer and it got kicked.
He was wrong. He was going there like, oh, it's a pool time. Not pool time. Line
Sit down
up.
at that fucking table.
Do laps. No, fucking not billiards. A swimming pool.
And then they make it really, really tight. But the next day, I had. I just can't not say this because it's funny.
That's what this podcast is all about, brother. Clip that. I just cannot say this because it's funny.
Take your pants off, stick your leg in the shower with hot water, let it sit for a while, then they'll come off pretty easily.
Nice.
Boy, did they not come off.
I was gonna say that doesn't fucking work. There's no way that works. A bunch of dudes rock hard in their bedroom in 5th grade, fighting,
Just going
Rock
at
hard
it.
wrestling.
blanket fight.
having a blanket fight. I get knocked on the bed and spread like a starfish. And
Hold on, we're still talking about blanket fights.
Yes.
Oh boy, yeah.
Sorry, I
I'm getting
just-
all wound up.
And I did go get an ultrasound the next day on my balls. And all I know is I've had like 5 to 7 old ball ultrasounds.
Its own kind of pain. You gotta watch
Very
out.
dangerous. Walking down these stairs is a very Chucky. He's eating the dead. He's eating the dead.
Very
fish.
chooky.
He's trying to get the fucking mackerel.
Crunch. And I get up. We were there for about 5 minutes. It was not a skateboard. I was living out a childhood's dream of wearing Heelys to the skate park.
Yes. The fucking Healy kid gets nails.
So, the wheel of a Heely hit the nail.
It's not even a board.
And of course, my boss was like, "What the fuck happened? What'd you do?" And I was like, "My mom told me to do this."
And they grab me by the shoulders and then knee me in the balls as hard as they can and ran home. I came inside, I was like, oh, Mom! He kneed me in the balls. She was like, right over there, right now.
He just hurt me. What I was saying is, you know, this does tend to be a trend for me to end up back in the ball ultrasound room.
The ball ultrasound.
Ball ultrasound? I've had my nuts ultrasound a bunch more after that.
Getting your balls checked, you're just like, white Sebring, right?
I asked for the girl's number who ultrasounded my balls. We're the same age.
This
I was like
guy
20
is
or
out of
21.
control, dude.
So we
I
should
wish
get
I
a
had a
drink
level of
sometime.
confidence
Something.
that you have.
Yeah, so what does your dad do for work?